Hey, what's going on, man? It's your man, Louie Tee. Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie Tee? Welcome to this Louie Tee Network exclusive Super Friends NFC East stream. Y'all know what it is. Again, I always tell y'all the same thing when we do this. These guys need no introduction. As you can see, we're short one tonight. We're short a Super Friend, but we might get a guest visitor later. We'll see. But nonetheless, we are the only division with all four teams over 500 at this juncture of the season, the best collective record in NFL history this late in the season. So feeling damn good. You've got the NFC East leading, actually NFL best 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles, represented by your man, Lord Brunson.
Yes, sir.
In second place, keeping pace with those 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles, are the 9-3. Is it 3 or it's 3, right?
Yeah.
9-3 Dallas Cowboys, represented by your man, Law, Nation Sports, but you know, we call him Law. We won't do all of that extra stuff around here, man. It's just Law.
First name. I'm good. It's good to know that I'm on first
name basis, man. What are we talking about here? And then, of course, the Giants, not represented tonight, but I'll make sure that I talk enough trash for the both of us. Bad Dog would have been here. They're 7-4-1, and yours truly representing the Washington Commanders, 7-5-1. We're doing our part to hold up the rear of this thing, making sure that this division stays where it needs to, which is at the top of the pecking order. So I want to start out the night by just seeing how you fellas are doing. 14 weeks. We're going into week 14. 13 weeks are in the books. Obviously, Lord Brunson, you can't probably be more ecstatic about your team start to the season. I mean, shit, you probably couldn't even imagine that you guys would be this good, 11-1 at this point in the season, and 9-3 for the Cowboys. But y'all have had some ass whoopings that y'all have handed out of late. The most, I think, impressive of the ass whoopings was the Minnesota one on the road, 40-3. Nobody saw that coming. You guys own Minnesota, though, but I didn't think you were going to do them dirty like that at the crib. So you've been putting up big numbers on everyone. How do you guys feel at this point of the season? You're what 5 games left in the season for everybody at this point? How are you guys feeling going down home stretch? We'll start with you, LB, and your 11-1 Eagles.
I'm feeling good, man. You know, to be 11-1, 5 games left, to have a division opponent that you still didn't even see yet in the New York Giants, I feel really good. You know, this half of the season really came down to if you could beat Aaron Rodgers and if you could stop the run. You know, we held Derrick Henry to 30 yards. Honestly, for real, the only last hurdle for us, as far as regular season go, comes on Christmas Eve against the Dallas Cowboys, one of the better teams in the NFL. So I feel good, man. I feel really, really good. I'm not even excited because the job not done. You know what I mean? It's not about, at this point for me, it's not really even about being good in the regular season anymore. It's about how far we can go in the playoffs. And it seems to be, you know, we turning the corner, you know, with mental focus, you know what I mean? We looking sharp, you know what I mean? Things are clicking. Jalen Hurts, back-to-back NFC Player of the Week. First time in Philadelphia Eagles history you had a player do something like that. When you look at Jalen Hurts' interviews, he's talking about focus and not being, you know, emotional. You know, there's nothing to him. He's been good in college and lost in the national championship. So he's locked in. When your leader's locked in, you know what I mean? I'm kind of adopting the mindset of him. You know what I mean? This is business as usual for us. I predicted us being this good.
Law.
I like to echo the same sentiments, man. The quarterback, Dak Prescott, this is not his first rodeo. Pressure is a privilege is what he say. And with all of that being said, yes, we all got the Eagles marked on the calendar. No offense to your Washington team, but it's about these Eagles, man, in a few weeks. I know Brunson's sitting high right now, but it's time for us to meet up and see what we can do against those boys, because what's happening here is every week we have our games that we play, right? And then now it's a battle within the battle when we are away from each other. So I can only imagine when we are together to see how this game is going to look like. So, but the Eagles, they got some homework to do this weekend. I'm sad that Bad Dog Sports not here tonight, because it's a pivotal game. I think that the Washington team gave the Eagles that first L. And I look back at this last game, you guys just tied against the Giants, and it wasn't a walk in the park. Louie Tee.
Well, it's family business. You know what that is. So, anytime the family members get together, you throw the records out the window. So no matter how good a team is, how bad a team is. I mean, we saw that back in November when we played Philadelphia. We were 11-point underdogs. You know, so you already know what it is. You can throw the records out the window. You can take whatever you think you know about your team or the other team and forget about all of that. I'm anxious to see. I fully expect Philadelphia to beat them because the Giants just don't score enough points for me, right? But the interesting thing is when you play teams in the division, wacky shit happens. You know, and who knows? This could be the game where Jalen Hurts has a flashback to last year and decides he wants to throw 2 or 3 interceptions. Who's to say? You know, you just never know in these games. You can never predict what's going to happen. But it's a big game. But really, the big game for it really in the division. The next big game is our game against the Giants next week, because that game is really going to determine who's making the playoffs. All 4 of us not making the playoffs. We had these ideas of grandeur of all 4 teams getting in. No, Seattle or San Francisco is getting the other wild card. Like those boys, like I kept waiting for Seattle. I was like the end of the Scooby-Doo, episode where you pull the mask off. Right. You know, oh my God, you thinking you looking at Geno Smith, you're like, oh, Geno Smith, you pull the mask off. And you're like, Russell Wilson, like, what the hell is going on? What kind of football he's playing? You know what I'm saying? I was ready to pull the mask off of them. Like, oh, okay, Jacksonville. Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys was acting like y'all was about to make the playoffs. Nah, they dead ass serious. They're not going away. Seattle is not going away. So whomever doesn't win that division is getting a wild card. So really what it's going to boil down to is that game is crazy because if we beat the Giants, so so this is the assumption I'm making.
Go ahead.
They're going to lose to the Eagles this week. I probably shouldn't make that assumption, but I'm going to. They're going to lose to the Eagles.
The Giants.
Yes, the Giants are going to lose to the Eagles this week. Then we play them. We're going to beat them. And then they play the Vikings on the road the following week. They're going to lose to them too. And if they lose all 3 of those games, we clinch the 7th seed pretty much. All we got to do is win 1 of our remaining 3 games. If we beat them.
Who's your remaining 3?
We got San Francisco on the road. We got Cleveland at home and Dallas at home.
Dallas, yeah.
So all we got to do is win 1 of those 3. Again, I said this at the beginning of the season. I'll say it again. Nobody on the schedule scares me. There's no one that we fear. With the way we play, we can beat anybody because we have the best time of possession in the league. When you grind people like that and you take people out of their element and you slow the game, it's almost like a team in college basketball that knows that the other team's more talented. So what do? You take the air out the basketball. You walk it up the court. You take the shot clock all the way down to 2 or 3. And you try to turn what they want to make a 85 to 70 some odd game into a game in the 50s, low 60s. And that's what we do, So you got to play mistake-free football when you do that. though. That's the only problem with that whole.
No, you gotta convert. I think you gotta convert.
You got to convert third downs in order to win time of possession. So either you convert third downs or you just don't let it get to third down. You know, and we've been doing a really good job of that because we're still not a great third down team. But what we do is we get 5 on first down with a run, and then you run it again, and it's another 5, or it's 3rd and 1. You run.
I don't think y'all making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that it's too tight.
Yeah, man. I don't think Washington gonna make it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love it because y'all don't really
because I don't think y'all going to beat the Giants the second time. We're going to beat the Giants, and the Giants are going to beat you guys. And I think that's going to determine a lot moving forward.
Now Brunson, are y'all going to sweep the Giants?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
If they beat them next week, why would they lose to them in Philadelphia?
At home, yeah. But we lost to we lost to Washington at home too. But you know, this is the thing though.
Go ahead.
This is the thing. I don't think the Giants rely too much on Saquon Barkley. You know, Washington caught us at a time where we knew we were bad at stopping the run. Then after we took that little scratch on the nose against Washington, we beefed that up. You know what I mean? I feel like that we now have the recipe to stop any dynamic runner. You know what I mean? We brought those big guys in, Linval, Joseph, and Dominic Sue and those guys. It boosted the play of Fletcher Cox. He said, wait a minute. You know what I mean? I feel like that, you know, I'm still here as well. It elevated his play as well. And the way we shut down Henry, we're going to be able to shut down Barkley the same way. The last game on the schedule that we got to worry about is Dallas, in my opinion. So
I don't subscribe to that. You went to the nursing home and got a couple of oldie but goodies. I don't think you got that much better at all. Honestly, I thought the Colts ran the football.
I mean, they made how? How did the Colts run the football?
I watched the game. Jonathan
Taylor watched the game. Had 20 yards in the second half. He had 20 yards in the second half.
And if he didn't fumble,
that was those guys.
He would have had more. He would have had.
But he fumbled.
He did fumble, getting extra yards. He getting extra yards. He fumbled in a scrum where he was being pushed forward.
He had 20 yards in the second half. That was the first game. That was the first game. That was the first game for our new additions. They had to get acclimated.
I don't want to hear.
After they got acclimated.
What did Green Bay do? Green Bay had a field day on you. What are you saying, bro? What do you mean
they had a field day on us? They lost.
I don't care. We're not talking about their team. We're talking about your run game. Come on now. Listen.
What was the stat? What was the stats for the running game in Green Bay?
I can tell you.
Who gashed us? Did Green Bay win time of possession?
Look, you ran for 300 yards in that game. We're not talking about time of possession. We're talking again. Stick to the script. We're talking about your
this is the script.
This is the script. So why are you talking about time of possession?
So usually when a team wins time of possession,
you ran for 300 yards.
Most likely. Okay.
I'm telling you what Green Bay did. I'm not telling you what you did on offense. Okay?
You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to subscribe to the changes we made. Since we got those guys, we have been proficient at stopping the run. That's the bottom line. It's the bottom line. It's the facts.
You're going to be tested. You're going to be tested as the season progresses because the teams that you've played against aren't a good barometer for you to test your run.
Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor are not a good barometer.
Listen to me, because again, you're saying,
listen, I can hear.
Okay, well then listen. Then stop talking and listen to me because I be dropping gems on you. You don't want to listen.
You'll be dropping no gems.
I be dropping gems on you all the time. You don't listen, and in 5 minutes
you telling me Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry are not a good barometer in terms of stopping the run.
Is this Jonathan Taylor from 2021 or Jonathan Taylor from 2022?
Now Derrick Henry then. Derrick Henry ain't a good barometer. So you don't want to give me Jonathan Taylor.
You know why he's not a good barometer? Because
you say so.
Y'all didn't respect. Nobody does, but y'all didn't respect their ability to throw the football. Y'all loaded up the box. Y'all didn't just stop the run with y'all front four and your linebackers. Y'all said, I dare you, Ryan Tannehill, to throw the ball to anybody. And then you took the one dude out of the game that was going to hurt you in that game, Treylon Burks, and you put him on the sideline. After that, it was all hell breaking loose. Now, like, who else is it going to be? Robert Woods? Nick Westbrook? They
didn't score in another team who didn't score in the second half. If Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry are not good barometers to judge the run, you just ain't keeping it real. I don't think you're keeping it real.
You got to look at the entire team. If I don't respect your quarterback, I don't respect your receivers or your skill positions. Why am I going to even entertain you throwing the football? If I know if I know your one way to beat me is number 22, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to load up. I mean, y'all were run blitzing the entire first half. Y'all weren't having that shit. And what was Tannehill going to do? Who is he going to throw it to? So why is Derrick Henry
why is Derrick Henry still top 4 to top 5 in rushing yards in the NFL this year?
Because
if nobody respects the passing game.
First of all, you got to respect their passing game if they have Treylon Burks. You was gonna find that out. The young man scored a touchdown on you. You was gonna have problems with him without.
He just scored that was his second touchdown of the season.
Yeah, right. Again, I just said you were.
He ain't been cooking this year.
He just got back from injury. The young man, this is why I tell you to listen.
AJ Brown got more receiving yards and touchdowns than they whole receiving core. And we supposed to be scared of him.
You don't watch the Titans, is what I'm telling you. That young man was just playing the best football of his season. He started really slow. He was struggling, right? That's who they drafted to take AJ Brown's place. Ain't no way he was coming in there and doing that. He took a long time to get where they needed him to be. He got injured. He came back from the injury and he was tearing shit up. He ate the Packers up. He just was coming off his best game. He was about to put in some work with no Chauncey Gardner-Johnson about it. That's who be saving your ass in the secondary. You're gonna get exposed.
You must be a magic genie. You're a magic genie, huh? Reed Blankenship picked off Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Who ain't picked off Aaron Rodgers this year, man? Like
Reed Blankenship did.
Aaron Rodgers is not Aaron Rodgers this year. Okay,
you got a lot of excuses for everybody else. The bottom line, you got excuses for every team.
I didn't have to have excuses. Your one loss came from us. Okay,
it's cool. Then you just say, didn't you? And where are you at?
On a milk cart.
Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at?
I'm right where I need to be. I'm hoping. This is where you at. I'm gonna give you another. I'm gonna give you another proclamation.
You know what? You beat us.
Let me give you another proclamation. Let me give you another proclamation. Since last time wasn't good enough for you, and you just told me we're not making the playoffs, which is asinine. So let me give you another proclamation.
How's it asinine?
Not only are we going to make the playoffs, we're going to be the 7th seed. We're going to go to Minnesota, dust them off, and then we coming back to your place again to do you in your own building again. You heard it here first. You better hope. Like I told you last time, you better hope.
You better be lucky YouTube don't drug test. You better be lucky YouTube don't drug test.
Look,
you better be lucky YouTube don't drug test.
Hard facts, because
you better be lucky YouTube don't drug test.
We got.
Did y'all listen? I understand. Listen, I understand.
We got the answer. That's all I know.
In order for you to make the playoffs, you need us to do what we already do. I don't need you to do
nothing. I just need
you. So you don't need us to beat the Giants.
I don't need you to beat the Giants. The Giants can bust your ass. I beat them next week. I'm still going to the playoffs. I don't need you to do a damn thing. This is the beauty of what happens when you got the best record in the NFL since week 6. You don't need nobody to do nothing.
You got the best record in the NFL since when?
Until we tied the Giants. We were 6-1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's what happens when you taking care of your own business. You don't need nobody else to do nothing for you. I'm good. I don't need you to
listen. Congratulations on beating us, but we beat like 4 teams that you didn't beat.
It doesn't matter. We beat you. I ain't talking about nobody else.
Remember, you said family business, right?
Yeah,
family business, right?
Family business.
You got one. You got one. The Dolphins used to get the Patriots all the time. The Jets too.
I ain't worried about what's going on in the AFC East. I'm talking about what's going on in the NFC East. All right,
just and you at the bottom and we at the top.
Just to let you know.
And we just shut down Jonathan Taylor and
just so you know, you sound real different than you did the last time we was up here when you was telling me don't compare us to them and don't do this and don't do that. And then we went in your house.
How you want me to sound? How you want me to sound? I'm no longer. You know what? I'm tired of being this good this season. That's why it's a little bit of a drop in enthusiasm. I've been the best team in the league the entire season,
and that's great.
I have no more energy to argue with people in the last place.
It must be a hell of a burden, Kay. I was glad to take some of that off your shoulders in November.
You didn't take anything. We're still the best team in the league.
Weight off your shoulders, just a little bit.
Y'all out here making new songs and remixes to songs.
Hey, look,
y'all not gonna make the
playoffs. To do
playoffs.
with that. I don't have nothing to do with that, but I can tell you, it's taking on a life of its own. I'm happy for those boys, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay, if they want to make songs and all of that left hand, I got both hands up. I ain't just got my left hand up. I got both hands up, trying to protect what's mine. But anyway, I wanted to ask both of y'all about the prospects. Last time we were here, and I obviously know the answer to the question of can you win the Super Bowl? I think everybody, I've already said, anybody in the NFC is capable of getting to the Super Bowl. And you know, depending on who's there waiting on you, there's a possibility that you can win. Who do you think is the biggest challenge to you getting to the Super Bowl? Who and what? So the who being team in the conference that you fear, if any, or one that you just think, I don't necessarily fear them, but I know it'll be a challenge. And then what internally, what within your team is the thing that you feel like could stop you from getting to a Lombardi? Start with you, LB.
The who for me would probably be Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady done seen it all in the playoffs. Like, nobody don't want to see Tom Brady in the playoffs. You know, that's just my opinion. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, they've never beaten Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady dismantled us last year. Nobody want to see Tom Brady. Now, I'm looking forward to having the advantage if we do. If we get the number 1 seed, they got to come through Philly. But it's Tom Brady for me. The what would be just mental errors. You know what I mean? You take last week's game, even though we blew Tennessee out, we had a lot of false starts. We had a lot of penalties on the offensive line. So mental errors could hurt us. You know what I mean? I don't think nobody could beat us if we had our best and we locked in, but it would definitely be Tom Brady for me.
Law.
Who will be the team that can stop the Dallas Cowboys will be the Dallas Cowboys. The what will be the discipline aspect of it. And I know a lot of people say, what? The Cowboys? Look, when we rolling 54-19 to a team that the Eagles barely beat by 1 point. That ain't nothing to sneeze at, by the way, Lord Brunson. And of course, Louie Tee. It ain't nothing to sneeze at 54 points and then putting up 40-3 against the Minnesota Vikings. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. So
that was impressive.
Huh? That was very impressive, right?
That was impressive. Yeah. The Colts one wasn't so much impressive to me.
It wasn't. I want to
1 quarter, man. That ain't.
That is impressive, but
that's impressive, man.
It's the Colts, man. They a mess.
I know the Colts are a mess or what have you, but you got to contextualize the fact that they had the 5th or the 6th ranked.
How many points did the offense put up in that game?
Look, in that, what we talking about?
That's an honest question. I don't know. How many points did the offense put up in that game?
The Cowboys offense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they put up majority of the points there. Dak Prescott threw for 3 touchdowns, and we had 4 touchdowns by land. There was 1 pick six, of course, or a scoop and score by Malik Hooker. But outside of that, the offense still did their things. So what I'm saying is that we had back-to-back 200 yards game rushing with our running backs. I think that we stumbled into greatness right now with these 2 guys, Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Sometimes we have Dr. What is it called? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with the offensive coordinator, who this is his 4th year ever calling plays. So if we can ever get that consistent, then shoot, the Cowboys are the only team that can stop the Cowboys, believe it or not. The man with the clipboard is holding the clipboard or what have you, calling the plays and utilization. Now, granted, the what would be the penalties, man. We got to stay disciplined. The coaching staff got to make sure that they are getting these guys ready. There should be none of this, y'all. And I know that you guys would never say it on your channel, but our coaching staff said our players were nervous before the playoff game. Coaching staff supposed to.
Yeah, I remember McCarthy.
Yeah.
I would never disclose that. I would never disclose that.
I go to my
grave. You would never hear that out my damn mouth. You would never know.
But that's the failure on him, though. You know what I mean? That's like I don't think he calls or designs plays. He's supposed to be out there being a motivational guy to get the guys. Vic Sirianni is excellent at making sure we are prepared and mentally focused. I feel like that's a failure on his part to even disclose that.
Speaking of which, I talked to a couple of Cowboys fans, and they are very adamant because, all this success, it's easy to kind of get lost in the objective sometimes, which is overall health moving forward, not just this season. And there was a lot of discussion early on in the season, especially after week 1, about Mike McCarthy's job security. Obviously, you played well this season. You've had, a resurgence here with Dak Prescott offensively. I still was talking to a couple of fans, and they said if we don't make it to the NFC Championship game, he's still getting fired. Do you feel that way?
Well, Jerry Jones is known for firing or getting rid of a coach that's a winning coach, right? Wade Phillips had only 1 losing season. He got the axe, right? And, of course, Jimmy Johnson, he had got the axe for, flirting with other teams and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it could be quite possible because we see that Kellen Moore is the darling child. We know that the coaching staff out of Dan Quinn is favored. So I don't know for sure if he would fire Mike McCarthy straight up. It just depending on how they lose. Like if we get blown out, then that could be a situation, or the word nervous, the team chemistry and everybody was nervous. That could give him the chance and the opportunity to fire him. Outside of that, I don't see that happening though.
So what about a first round exit again? Is that enough to get him canned, or?
I mean, it's enough. Jerry Jones is a marketing guru, and with Jerry Jones, he would spread it out. It would be not a quick fire. It would be a slow roast type of thing, and it would be some type of stuff that was leaked to the media or something like that. So first round exit, I don't think that he would get fired. It just depends on how it'd be how they lose though. It'd be if they lose in the last seconds or something like that, they hold on to him. But if they get blown out, shoot, he may get axed. That's just how it goes.
If you lose to Brady or if you lose to Purdy, the dude in San Fran, he getting fired. and that's most likely who you're gonna run into.
So I think Dan Quinn would be the right man for the job. But I think this hiring cycle, he's probably gone. If you don't
next wave.
If you don't promote him to head coach, he's probably getting snatched up. And I still think he's the key to your team. I've wanted him gone this offseason. I told you that already. Michael Parsons was pretty much begging, like, bro, please don't leave me. So I think he's the guy that really is the one that kind of drives the car there, and that defense is the engine, but he's the man behind the wheel. So we'll see. That's pretty interesting.
But one thing I can say with Dan Quinn, though, Dan Quinn, his resume speaks volumes as a defensive coordinator. As a head coach, he got too many hats. If you ever get a chance to watch any training camp footages, you see Dan Quinn with his hands on the defensive players, and if he get promoted to the capacity of a head coach, I don't think that he will have that longitude and latitude, and you will lose some of the uniqueness out of Dan Quinn. And I just like Dan Quinn personally as a defensive coordinator, not a head.
Yeah, he ain't gonna have that time to text certain players and get that personal with them, and you know what I mean?
Right.
You got a lot of stuff to worry about.
And he may be one of those dudes that's better served as a coordinator, but a lot of times too, guys learn from their first experience as a head coach, and they figure out some things that they did wrong, or that if they got a second chance, they would do differently. So I don't know, we'll see, but found that interesting. So let's get to the comment section and some of these super chats. I got one here from Door Gunner. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, thought Philly was sweeping the division. I guess Scary Terry thought otherwise. Terry had Slade looking like baked ziti. I mean,
man, we're 11-1. You can't win them all. Have you ever lived long enough to see your Commanders be 11-1? I don't think so.
He might be 47 years old. You don't know how old that man is. We got one of the greatest teams in NFL history that won the Super Bowl. So he might have seen an 11-1 squad. You don't know that. Kevin Quinn, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, who has the best defense in the division? I told you what it was the last time. Nothing has changed for me.
You ain't gonna give nothing to the Eagles.
I don't give nothing to nobody. You got to earn it.
Go ahead and say Dallas.
You want it's Dallas. I don't have to tell you that. You know it's Dallas.
I don't believe that. I think it's the Eagles.
Of course you do. You think everything is the Eagles. That's
what you mean. We need the league in turnovers.
What does that mean?
3 and 9. I mean, I just break it down. Chinese. You can be. I gotta say the Chinese. I like Dallas. We take the ball away more.
The Saints were a terrible defense in 2009, and they led the league in turnovers first. You can be a terrible defense and force turnovers. That ain't shit. I'm not saying your defense is terrible. Your defense is good. It's just not better than Dallas's. I've already told you that.
I mean, I appreciate that, man, being the best defense in the NFC East. I appreciate that. It's all good.
And honestly, if we keeping it a buck, Eagles are second, we're third, Giants are last.
You was about to give y'all second.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I was really thinking about doing that. I really was, but I'm not, because I don't like my corners like that. Even though they playing a lot better. Again, AJ Brown, 1 catch, 7 yards, but
But one thing I can tell you though, I'm gonna give the Eagles little flowers, man. Since I'm a DB guy, I like.
Don't do it.
I like Slay and I like Bradbury for what they did this year. You know what I'm saying? As a combination between the two.
You know what? That was expected. Slay is a premier corner in his league, and Bradbury to me isn't a 1; he's a 2. So this was a perfect fit for him. You take Bradbury, you make him a number 1, and I think you can expose him. But when you take him and you take Slay, you taking the other team's best receiver. You don't have to worry about that. Bradbury, you take number 2. He gonna eat over there, and that's what he's been doing all year. So I think it's a really good.
Bradbury been getting targeted like a number 1 though all season.
Well, you know why? You know why? I mean, I just told you why. Because
but this is what I'm saying though. If you getting targeted at the rate he getting targeted, he don't be getting cooked. At some point, you will have a Trayvon Diggs moment where somebody get behind you and cook you a little bit. That will happen with the amount of target, the amount of times they're getting thrown at.
Yeah, but I want you guys to pay attention to our guy, man. Dayron Bland, man. He's developing and he's turning the corner. We had some old ties with Anthony Brown. He was a guy that you guys probably be aware of or know of, number 1 targeted DB out there in the National Football League. So now we got a younger guys, man. And Malik Hooker on our secondary, man, is doing remarkable things. So overall, like you said, Louie Tee, collectively, man, our guys flying out to the ball, man.
Yeah, I love the fact that your boy is so thirsty out there, man. He's gonna get you in trouble. Did you see that slug off for the touchdown against?
Oh yeah, you talking about Diggs? Though,
yeah, boy, that man's so thirsty for a pick, man. That's scary, bro.
But you live by son, you die by son, and he read it. He read it. If it went that way, it would have went the other way.
But it didn't.
It was designed like it was designed to not go that way. It was designed to catch him.
They knew what he was going to
do. Right.
14 Gurr. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Right. Should the Skins play Wentz again? Do we release him? I throw that to the panel. You know how I feel about it. I've told you guys this many a times. What do you say, LB?
Carson Wentz is trash.
I knew he was going to say that.
I mean, that's the truth. Like, how much of a cap hit do you guys take?
It's no cap hit. We already spent the money we were going to spend. If we cut him loose after the season, it's a wrap. Like, we don't owe him any more money. That's why we didn't redo his deal. We ate the $28 million because if we did anything structurally to his contract, we would be tied to him longer. So we ate the money. And he's done. He's done.
He'll be gone.
What about you, Law? Do you think?
I mean, at this point, he's gone, man. I don't see Wentz. What team would really need to utilize Wentz at this point, too? You know, even if he do get cut.
Carolina, they'll take a chance.
Yeah, he like Baker Mayfield then, huh?
Yeah, Carolina will take a chance. He could be a backup for Lamar Jackson or something like that.
Well, he come back to the Eagles, man, and be the backup there, man. I seen Nick Foles on the Colts bench. I was like, hey, I didn't know Nick Foles was still playing. You know?
Hey, he'll get a job. If he want to play, he'll get a job somewhere and backing somebody up. If he want to do that, I don't know if mentally he's cut out to just be somebody's clipboard holder. I don't know if that's him or not. Marcus Kane, thank you for the super chat. Writes, which receiver in the division leads the league in receiving touchdowns? I hate when people ask questions they already know the answer. I hate when Marcus is probably a smart dude. But
he is. You see the hat? You see the hat on his head? I'm pretty sure he's smart too.
Probably a smart dude. We already know. But no, seriously, I said this, and a lot of your viewers watch my channel, so they know. And some of them, not the sharpest, so probably don't get it. But I've said a long time ago, it is the best trade of the offseason. It's the reason that you're 11-1. It changed your offense drastically. I've talked about what he meant to the Titans. That's why they fired their GM. That's part of the reason they just fired their GM.
I don't think AJ Brown. He's a big part. I don't think he's the sole reason why.
No, he's not.
I mean, he on 3 games. I know for sure. I seen AJ, man, made a difference, man. Especially
it's Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Yep. Keep going.
The Lions.
I mean, his
presence out there alone. You just got
exactly.
Yeah, his presence out there alone, and that's the big difference between him and CD. The big difference when CD out there, you know he out there, but when AJ out there, you know he out there. You see what I'm saying?
Man. I mean,
it's a difference, though. It's a difference.
Is it splitting hairs at this point? Is he light years ahead? Who having a better season right now, AJ or CD? We gonna leave Scary Terry over there, man. We just talking about AJ and CD.
AJ and CD. Listen, this is the thing. All three of them are having really good seasons, though, if you want me to keep it 100. But if you're talking about, I think it's AJ, man. I think it's AJ, man. I think it's AJ. I think it's AJ over CD that's having a better season.
I think it is too because of the touchdowns, the amount of times he's getting in the end zone. Yeah. And I already told you, while CD is super talented, it's his inconsistency for me that kills me with him. Is every now and again you're gonna get a drop. You get him running like the interception. He'll run behind a safety and allow the guy to step in front of the pass and pick it off. It's just little stuff like that. Sometimes he can be real nonchalant. When he's dialed in, he's a load to handle, man.
69 receptions, 928 yards, 6 touchdowns. Passer rating when targeted is 96.8. So, and he only had 4 drops out of those targets too. So I'm not finna sneeze on the man. His numbers are very comparable to your boy though, AJ though. You know,
they are. I just think AJ make bigger plays.
But you got to contextualize it too that we were without our starting quarterback for 5 games as well.
So. That's the part that kills me.
But I know without a starting about to say that.
That don't kill me. You know what I mean? I can't
quarterback for the entire season, and my boys.
I can't do that though. That's why.
That's why I said leave your boy out of it.
No. That's why I really can't respect it. I can't. That's some of the reason why I can't respect him is being better than Terry or AJ because AJ played with Ryan Tannehill. Come on, come on now. Look at them other guys. Ain't nobody else cooking over there like AJ. Sometimes if you're a true number one, it don't matter who you playing with. You're going to know that you're going to get the ball and you're going to do your job. I feel like he didn't even have a 100-yard game with Cooper Rush. AJ McLaurin has had multiple 100-yard games with I don't even know who. You know what I mean? Throwing the balls. You know what I mean? If you that guy, it's just going to show up regardless. You know what I mean? And that's one of the big things for me, man. He just don't his presence. He just don't have that presence of a number one. He got the numbers though, I guess.
Mr. Ron B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Question for Lord Brunson and Law Nation. Name one area team needs to improve for the stretch run.
Focus. Everything on the roster to win a Super Bowl. Just focus. Remaining dialed in for 4 quarters.
Yeah. We had to stop the run, and then these last 3 weeks, man, we haven't allowed a runner individually to run over 100 yards, and we held Jonathan Taylor to 82 yards, which that's a plus for us. We continue to do that. Yeah, we got to continue.
Louie don't think we did nothing.
Yeah.
Did what? I'm about to, you know what?
We have Jonathan Taylor to 62.
Look, I'm about to read you your rights real quick.
Read him his rights real quick. But before you say that, one more thing, I just got to say this for that super chat. Also, my team just needs Dak Prescott. I love my dog, man. I think Dak Prescott is still the best quarterback in the NFC, probably the whole NFC, not even just the East. And I know what you about to say, Lord Brunson, but let me just say this: if Dak can get on the same page with the wide receivers and stay there, because some of the miscommunication is with the wide receivers, is Dak Prescott trying to fit the ball where it don't belong and things like that. Shoot, that if we clean that up, shoot, like I say, the only team
you can't call him the best. If that's his issue, we can't sit here and call him the best. Because my guy ain't got that issue. My guy ain't got that issue.
Look, for right now, your guy don't have that issue.
That's what I was about to say. You know, consistency is what I want to see. This year, ain't no doubt.
Consistency?
You got it.
Consistency?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and say this right
now.
So
this is a fluke for 12 straight games.
Let me go ahead and say this. Let me go ahead and put this out there for you then. Your boy got 20 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's dope. Oh, excuse me. Let me put the extra sauce on there because I know where you're going to go. He got 28 touchdowns, right? Collectively with the legs.
I think 29. I think you missed.
I'm shortchanging the man. Oh, so 20. Look at him. He's picking up everything, Louie Tee. He got 29 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That's good, man. That's remarkable. If he want MVP, I hope he get it. Matter of fact, I hope he get MVP. I hope y'all pay him $50 million too.
I think he's the front runner.
55.
I think he's the front runner for it.
For the MVP?
55.
Yeah, I think he's the front runner for it.
He's making a hard charge. I never would have thought he would be in this discussion. That he just had the best day of his career against Tennessee. I still think it's Mahomes' right now, but he's in second now. I think
29 tubs, man.
I think
it been Jalen and Mahomes the last 3 weeks.
But it's clearly those two now. Like it was still
it's clear.
It's clear. Like those two separated from the rest of the pack. And it ain't even close now. It's just a matter of who's going, down the stretch. One of them two is going to get it. That's what it seems like right now. And I never would have thought we'd be having this conversation. Clearly, I did not think we would be having this conversation. Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to come. We put a pin in that. We're going to come back because I got something to talk to y'all about. Jonathan Taylor, 22 carries, 84 yards against y'all. You said that was their first game. That was your excuse, right? That was their first game, right? Correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was their first game on your roster.
You talking about Sue and Joseph.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So then let's go to the Packers-Eagles game. Okay. And so AJ.
Don't leave this out of context. No, go back to the Colts game though. Okay. He had 60 rushing yards in the first half, 20 in the second half.
Okay.
So don't leave that out. He did it. He did his damage while dudes was getting acclimated. And then after that second half, they shut that down.
Okay. So 8 carries, 64 yards for AJ Dillon. And I ask myself often, the Packers kill me with this because they can run the ball and they stop all the time. 8 for 64 for him. So he was averaging 8 a pop. Okay. 12 for 43 for Aaron Jones. They had 21 carries for 106 yards. That's 5 a pop.
So we get so what we doing? We'll be doing some Dragon Ball Z fusion. They one person.
But that's their two-back system. What do you mean? It's a two-back system. If I take AJ Dillon's 8 for 64 and extrapolate that times 2, it's 16 for 124 or 28. Excuse me.
I mean, whatever you got to do to make.
I'm just telling you.
I'm gonna do a law.
That's all I'm telling you.
I'm gonna do a law just dead. I'm gonna do a law just dead. For 3 weeks, nobody got 100 on the ground on us. I'm gonna do a law just dead. For 3 weeks, nobody got 100 on the ground on us.
I mean, that's the Packers. They are a two-headed monster. So again, you take what it is. They are a two-headed monster, and you shut down, like you said. I think it was 11 for 30 for Derrick Henry. But again, their offense is that. Again, that's part of the reason John Robinson just got fired. And I talked about it when they traded AJ Brown. It's the worst thing they could do because they were a Super Bowl contender, and you took the one guy off their team, not named Derrick Henry, that struck fear in any opposing defense's heart. And so
that was dumb because you took the one guy who you can't load the box too much with AJ Brown and Derrick Henry.
And they did, and AJ would make them pay. That's a slant and AJ breaking the tackle, or that's one-on-one down the field. We've seen what AJ's done to one-on-one a lot of the times this year. We saw what he did to the Titans. I don't know what they were thinking. Neither one of their corners were quick to deal with him one-on-one, and they decided it was a good idea to give him one-on-one coverage. Like they got it like that. They had.
I mean, why they didn't roll coverage though, man? I'm sitting there like that's AJ.
I mean, Devontae Smith.
There's no way. Devontae had 102 in the touchdown.
Well.
I'm talking about that tub though, man. Well, I know Fulton got hit in the jewels, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they was out there hurting folks, man. They was taking everybody.
Yeah, AJ just had bad intent, man. He had bad intent that day.
So let me. I wanted to ask you this. This has been on my melon for a little bit. So I feel like your Cowboys are the inverse of Philadelphia. I don't know which is better. I think I know which is better. I think one is better against bad teams, but I think the other might be better served against better football teams. But so one of my complaints about Philadelphia earlier in the season was that they jumped on teams and they didn't score in the second half, right? Now I'm looking at your team,
right,
and you're playing these teams extremely close early.
Slow starts,
and then you're pulling away late. Is there a better method? Obviously, you would prefer to just be good start to finish, but is one better than the other? Start fast and kind of finish slow, or kind of coast, or start slow and then pick up the pace?
I'd rather start slow and then pick up the pace. The Cowboys got it slapped in the mouth with the Green Bay. They thought they was popping champagne bottles and everything, up by 14 in the fourth quarter. And they got too cute, continued to pass the ball, and didn't know how to close. That ass whooping by the Green Bay was well worth it, believe it or not. Even though I was pissed, man, I can tell you that reality check cashed in, and now Cowboys are taking no mercy on anybody, right? So they're gonna start off slow. You'll still start off slow, right?
That's mercy right there.
But I would rather for me to make the necessary adjustments now against a team like your Eagles, or another playoff kind of caliber team.
It's okay to say the Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders too. You know, you can't leave them around. You know, your team once you leave them around, you can get hot. So I want, when we play against the Commanders, even though it's the last game of the season, I still want us to make sure we put our foots on the neck.
So I personally rather start fast.
I think I'd agree with LB.
Yeah, I'd rather start fast, because especially if you got a talent like Micah Parsons, if you start fast and go up 21, you could just unleash the hounds. You know what I mean? Because you know they're in passing situations most of the time. So that's kind of what we've been doing. You know what I mean? We've been starting fast at the beginning of the first half of the season, and then we were able to just pin our ears back, play coverage, bring 5, mix up our blitz packages, you know, cause havoc on guys. You know what I mean? So versus the Tennessee Titans, I mean, did we start fast? We just took care of business. You know what I mean? That was a total effort from all 3 phases of the game. Despite the penalties, you know what I mean? I still think that was our most complete game. You know what I mean? All 3 phases was locked in, and we started fast on offense. So
oops.
Well, he's still alive. He there.
Yeah.
I'm off. I
was
switching him around. I was switching him around to where his future was. My fault.
Hey, this is an omen. This is where the Eagles gonna be at by the end of the year, man. I love it, baby. Back at the bottom, baby. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Louie Tee? What's going on, man? Yeah. We on top, baby.
Go ahead, finish your thought. I didn't mean.
No. I was saying I'd rather start fast though, because you know we like to get to the quarterback. You know, when we in situations to where we got to guess if it's run or pass, sometimes, you know, we play this bend, don't break situation. But when we know you pass, and I think we're the best defense in the league, especially when we know you're passing because of the secondary we got.
I agree. I think your philosophy, the way that y'all have played this year, I won't say it's a philosophy. I just think that's the way y'all been playing. I think that's better against bad teams. When you playing a bad team, you need to let them know early. Today is not your day, bro. Maybe next week. Today ain't your day. And the Eagles have been doing it better than anybody this season, at letting teams know, hey, today ain't your day. Maybe next week, but it ain't today. And I think with Dallas, that's the scary part, is you let a team like Indianapolis hang around, and next thing you know, they think they got a chance, and now you in a dogfight. You know what I'm saying? But but when you guys turn it on the way that you have, you know, in these games, and like you said, making adjustments is huge. And I think that works better against good teams. Like if you start fast on a good team, but you fizzle out and they make adjustments and the momentum switches, you can still lose a ball game, you know. But if you start slow, they don't get too far. That's the key. You can't let somebody get out in front of you. You know, y'all ain't been like losing games. It's just been close. Like the Giants game, y'all weren't losing. Y'all, it was just, honestly, if the Giants, and this is why I don't think they're gonna beat Philadelphia. This is why they're not gonna make the playoffs. If the Giants had any offense, y'all were in trouble. Y'all were doing a lot of dumb shit in that game on Thanksgiving. Y'all went for your own territory, which Mike McCarthy's an idiot because he do that way too often. He does that shit way too often. But you know what that was? That's a sign of disrespect. That's how I take it. When you go for it that deep, that you saying, what you gonna do with it? You ain't gonna do shit with it. And they did.
They said no nuts, no glory. I feel you on that. But the thing is still right here with my reservations. I recall with Dan Quinn's defense, still up by 14 points against Green Bay. Come back, lost, right? I'll go all the way back with the Atlanta Falcons, up 28-3. You know what I'm saying? And then ended up holding that L at the end of that Super Bowl. So I just want all of these little warts and starting fast and all of that stuff to be out of his mind on the defensive side of the coin, because I've seen devastating losses now. So that's just all I'm gonna say on that.
I feel like a lot of it's when you lose leads like that, it's more of a team effort. Like they lost that 28-3 because they didn't run the ball. And I felt like y'all lost to the Packers because y'all ain't run the ball. Y'all were killing them on the ground that game. It's just inexplicable why you just decided to keep throwing the ball when Tony Powell was getting like 6 a pop that game. Like I just didn't understand it, but you know, I think it goes both ways. Anyway, I digress. Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, hey, Lou and the Super Friends, what is the one offensive and defensive player for each of your teams that needs to raise their game for each of you to succeed in the playoffs, and why? One offensive, one defensive guy that needs to be better for your team to have the success that you want in the postseason?
That's tough for me, man. I feel like everybody's pretty much locked in. Miles Sanders having a career year. Devontae Smith I got no complaints. If there's one guy, I would have to say Quez. You know, Quez hasn't really taken full advantage of some of the opportunities. He knew it was going to be slim pickings getting the ball. I would have to say Quez. I would have to say Quez Watkins. If Quez don't drop that ball against y'all don't win, despite y'all controlling, time of possession.
He didn't drop the ball. Get that right. He fumbled.
That's what I'm saying. If he practices, it's even worse. He completed the catch.
Right.
So you know what I mean. If he goes to the ground and keeps that alive, you guys don't win that game. He had another drop.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Jalen Hurts was going to score. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion,
it was time left. Y'all weren't stopping us. Y'all had to stop this all game.
Momentum was changing. Then that drop happened. Momentum was changing. But I think it's.
He didn't drop it. I think it's Quez. Dogs on him. It's a difference. He didn't drop it. The drop is different.
I think it's Quez though. I think a little bit of that is Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts has his timing down with AJ. He got his timing down with Smith, but Quez got a different gear. You know what I mean? I think he got to kind of find out how to deliver the ball to Quez, because once Quez be stretching the field, man. Once he get Quez involved a little more, if Quez step up and catch some of them balls, I think you're virtually looking at an unstoppable offense.
Anybody on defense? He wanted one for each side of the ball. You got one on defense.
Anybody on defense? Somebody that needs to step up on defense. I would like to see a little more pressure from the defensive line and in totality. They've been getting home a little more, but everybody, I really have no complaints.
I think it's your defensive coordinator. I'd love to see more from. It's amazing that he's as a head coaching candidate. Just like I'm shocked that my offensive coordinator is being mentioned as a head coaching candidate for what? For what? What? Jonathan Gannon for what? Are you kidding me? He's garbage. But I digress. If there's anybody, that's who I would say. Jonathan Gannon. You got the pieces. Yeah. I don't trust him. Law.
I mean, the power is everything in the Cowboys' hand will be Kellen Moore if you're going to use coaches. But if it's a player on the offensive side who will need to step up will be, I think everybody's doing a great job, but it'll be our third wide receiver, whoever it may be, whether it's Noah Brown or it's this guy by the name of James Washington. If those guys can stand tall, man, everybody else doing a solid job. CD doing a solid job. Caleb, the tight ends doing a solid job. The entire offensive line. So it'll be down to our third string wide receiver. And on the defensive side, it will be whoever the opposite DB of Trayvon Diggs. Everybody else been standing tall. And
I think Dak need to step up.
Dak Prescott needs
to step up. I think Dak need to step up, man. It's been a lot of picks since he came back. It's also been a lot of debate, whether it's the receiver or this or that. All I know is that ball came out of that man's hand into the belly of the defense a lot. And if you want to be for real, like I could directly attribute the loss to the Green Bay Packers on Dak Prescott. I mean, he had the ball in his hands with a chance to win the game. He threw 2 picks in that game. I mean, I think it's Dak, man.
But even with that breath, the picks that he threw, he still got the team up by 14 points. And the coach elected not to kick the field goal, right?
But that goes back to what we just were talking about, though. Mm-hmm. Killing them early. If he threw one of the picks in the red zone, y'all could have been up 21. It could have been a wrap. Not even with the overtime.
Yeah, but then he redeemed himself. But I feel what you're saying, though. I feel what you're saying with Dak Prescott. Yeah, you can't have turnovers, especially in the playoff. Everything get condensed, right? One pick, you're out almost of it because it's time of possession is a whole bunch of things. You got to play smart, too, football, Cowboy Nation. Play the fields. If you got a damn good defense, there's nothing wrong with punting the ball, forcing the team to drive the ball 80 to 90 yards to see if they can win. Play sound defense, control the clock, TOP. Every possession is precious. So, yeah, can't get greedy. Like Louie Tee just said, sometimes you got to play common sense football. And those are the things that the Cowboys tend to get too cute with. So, yeah, matter of fact, I tell you what, I would put everything on Dak Prescott. I'll rechange my stance. I put everything on Dak Prescott and the coaching staff.
That's
I like it. The leader of your team and the coaches.
Leader of the team. Yeah,
I got no problem with that.
I mean, mine is simple. On offense is Taylor Heineke. He's got to play better. You know, I don't need more of Taylor Heineke. I need more of him of what we get from him. So I don't need 40 passing attempts. I need more out of the 24 that I get from him. You know what I'm saying? I don't need him to throw it 40 times because that's not who we are as a team. We're going to run the football. As I mentioned, we lead the league in time of possession, which is going to give us a chance just about every week. Couple that with the defense that we play. Heineke I just ask that you hit the layups, okay? Because every now and again, he's going to hit a three. Hit the layups, though, you know, and he misses them from time to time, and that is costly. And that's why we didn't beat the Giants. You know, couple that with, you know, the officiating and things of that nature, but the officials had a part in it, but we had opportunities, and we missed them.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that from you.
No,
not about no officiating.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna go full LB and go crying about the.
No, you went full Louie Tee.
No, I didn't.
You went full you.
I already said we had our opportunities. The officials. That's what most people like to do. I always say losers worry about losing. I let the losers talk about officiating because just like in a basketball game,
that's why I just stopped you because you were sounding like a loser.
No. I didn't want to sound like you. That's what I was trying to say. Everybody kept coming and telling me
said it.
LB after the game, LB is in a depression. He's drinking and he's getting off. He's talking about officiating and he got off. And I'm like, I hope that because I don't want to see that for you, man. I don't want to see that.
Listen, listen. Was I upset about the non-call on the face mask? Absolutely, because
it was egregious. But I'm not giving the shit back.
And the man has been hurt ever since. He couldn't even brace himself for the fall. Y'all tried to kill him.
Hey, look, man.
Yeah, I was upset about that. But wait, man, he'll be back next week.
Tough. Tell your man to get tough. Okay. At the end of the day,
when the playoffs start and y'all ain't in it, and you just making videos about how we did.
Look.
It's gonna be a glorious week. It's gonna be a glorious week for me.
How you are so wrong so often. Just
no! Come on, Louie. They call me Crystal Ball Brunson. This is how right I am. I predicted y'all was going to tie.
That's great. A lot of people predicted that we were going.
Nobody don't predict no ties, Louie.
People predict win or all the time. The people.
Okay. Listen. Yeah, people predict them all the time.
People predict ties that don't want to come up with a record. Because you know why you predict the tie? Because you can't just say, "Oh, y'all going 8-8." So you know what you got to do now? You got to go 8-8-1. That's the.
No, I predicted the tie because to me, y'all are two teams that cannot win in a big moment. That was a big game. That game puts one of y'all directly behind the so why y'all beat us, right? Every dog get their day. We've been undefeated for 10 weeks. We were undefeated for 10 weeks. Somebody got to catch it slipping.
So it was supposed to be us? Because listening to you, it damn sure won't gonna be us.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even supposed to happen at home. I did not think it was going to be, but it was going to be somebody.
I could get into specifics, but I've already done that. That dog is dead. What I'm telling you is, if Heineke plays better, it makes us a tougher team to beat. With the way we run the football, with the weapons, I'm gonna just say it right now. We got the best trio in the division. I'll go to war with anybody. It's receivers. I got the best trio in the division. Now, statistically,
hey, Law almost threw it. Almost threw the hat. Law almost slammed the hat.
I go to war.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I go to war.
You know what? Law, you know what? It's a chat full of people. His people, I'm pretty sure, calling me delusional. Listen to him
every day.
Every day.
Listen to what I'm saying. I said I will go to war. It's the same conversation.
Who's your third wide receiver, though?
Thank you.
Jahan Dotson. Better than your third? Better than your third. Be quiet.
Better than who third? He's better than Quez Watkins?
He's better than Quez Watkins. I bet any Eagles fan would take Jahan Dotson over Quez Watkins. Are you sick?
No, they won't, Louie. No, they won't.
Are you crazy?
No, they won't.
Okay. So now, who's delusional? Like I was saying, remember, Law, when you said that you would take Emmitt Smith over Barry Sanders? Remember you said that?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. I say I take Emmitt.
I can understand.
And he he's better than him because he would take him. And I said, bro, are you crazy? But that's his guy. He said, I'm riding with my guy. Did you not say that?
I said that, you know. I said
that's the same thing I'm saying.
You compare
with my three. I think my three are better.
You ain't saying the same thing.
I am saying the same thing. How am I not?
You ain't saying the same thing. You're not.
He got 13 receptions for 233 yards, right? Jahan Dotson.
Did you see how many games he's played in?
Yeah, he do got 5 touchdowns.
How many touchdowns did he have? How many touchdowns?
He got 5 touchdowns.
How many touchdowns does Quez Watkins have? How many touchdowns does your third receiver have? Put them shit together.
I think he got 2.
We don't have guys with 5 touchdowns. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see.
Noah Brown.
Who's your how many
Wait to James Washington. Wait to James Washington.
How many yards?
Listen. I want to hear about wait till James.
It's pretty convenient. Hold on. It's pretty convenient. It's pretty convenient. It's pretty convenient for you to go to the third wide receiver. You got to tell me who the number 2 is before you say your trio. Who's the number 2? Who's the 2? Who's the 2? That's better than Devontae Smith.
I didn't say he was better than Devontae. I said collectively.
So if you're one.
My one and my 2.
It don't make sense.
My one cancels out all of y'all ones. Your 2 is better than my 2.
That ain't how that works.
That's how it works.
That ain't how that works. So
your one is comparable to your one. That's how that works.
That's not how that works. So I got a better. So I got a better duo than you, right? You telling me I got a better duo than you?
Not by much.
Did you freeze?
Not by much. Yes, and my 3 makes up for the gap with your 1 and 2. My 3 makes up for the gap. That's what I'm telling you.
The math ain't mathing. It just ain't. It don't make sense.
Never makes sense, bro.
Hey, with It
don't even make sense. If my 1 and 2 better than your 1 and 2, you gonna throw in the guy who get the third least targets to make up the slack? How are they not?
Your 1 and 2 aren't better than my 1 and 2.
Okay, who's your 2?
Curtis Samuel. How many times I gotta say it?
Curtis Samuel is better than Gallup, man. Curtis Samuel is not better than Gallup.
Curtis Samuel, damn sure better than Devontae Smith.
Curtis Samuel ain't better than Michael Gallup.
No way! You finna have
Law. Get your man, Law. Get your man, Law. Tell me the truth, Law.
Listen. He's a different type of receiver than Michael Gallup. Gallup, when he's healthy, first of all, I ain't seen Michael Gallup from 2019, 2020. I ain't seen that dude in 2-3 years.
You seen him? Touchdown last week, right? You know what I'm saying?
He caught a touchdown. How many catches is he at? What is he having? A catch or 2 a game? What is he doing?
I mean, come on.
He hasn't done anything since he's come back. Has he even had a 100-yard game this season?
I mean, he ain't gonna get.
Has he had a 100-yard game this season?
We'll run first take. What you want him to do?
We don't run first team. Stop making excuses.
Oh, come on. So
we lead the league, bro.
You talking about? Curtis Samuel ain't had no 100-yard game either, though.
He hasn't, but I'm trying to tell you, he's a different type of receiver. He runs the football. You have to act just like you talk about with Jalen Hurts as a mobile quarterback. You got to average that in there too. He's the guy that carries the football too. He does a lot of different things. Obviously, y'all don't watch our team, but Curtis Samuel is one of the most clutch 4th down receivers in the league. That's a statistic. He's at the most 4th down catches of any receiver in the league this season. To convert on 4th down.
Gallup catches them before it gets to 4th down.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't care nothing about it. I'm just telling you how much my dude has been. Hey, look, we moving away from the original discussion, which
is Gibson the best? Is Gibson still the second best running back?
Remember he said that.
The man, look, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Ezekiel Elliott, will you still take Gibson over
Gibson lost?
Hell yeah, Ezekiel Elliott, old ass, look like he got cement in his shoes. Are you crazy?
Zeke got 10 times.
Zeke is a bum. He's wild.
Zeke got 10 times.
Law. He is delusional. Law. He is delusional. He is delusional, Law. Louie, you delusional.
Listen. I don't know why y'all still.
Look, his eyes this wide open. His eyes this wide open. He going crazy. He going crazy.
I don't understand.
He going crazy.
It's crazy that I watch every week, and you still trying to force Zeke down people's throats. Tony Pollard is the man, and y'all keep trying to feed Zeke. I don't understand this shit. I don't understand it.
Zeke got 10 rushing touchdowns.
You know who leads the league in rushing touchdowns? You know, Williams for the Lions. You want him on your team too? What the hell are you talking about?
Hell yeah, Williams.
Zeke is light years ahead of Williams.
James Conner led the league in rushing touchdowns last year. You want him over Zeke too?
Who was that?
James Conner led the league in rushing touchdowns last year. You want him too? What difference is that? I don't give a shit about that. Give me the guy that's the most effective. That is Tony Pollard. That's Tony Pollard.
Yo, bro, you too smart to be talking like this. You too intelligent to be sounding like this today.
I'm just telling you, Zeke's
James Conner and Williams for the Lions are two sought out after running backs. People will they will not be on free agents.
Absolutely, Jamal Williams is a great fantasy football running back. Yeah, you talking like he DeAndre Swift. It's Jamal Williams. Really good in the red zone. Really good fantasy football back. I'm glad. That's awesome. But Zeke Elliott, best football behind him. Have I said any lies?
Did you see Zeke last week, man? In the week before that?
I saw Zeke, and you know what I said?
Jamal Williams on 188 carries, got 769 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, you know the Lions are one of the most explosive offenses in the football, right? They're the best red zone efficiency team.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how efficient Williams is. He better than every running back on your roster.
In the red zone, absolutely. That's a different team. Okay, again, why do I have to do this with you all the time? Focus. Come back here. Let's focus on what we're talking about. Okay,
you can make these dudes.
Y'all got the best tight end too.
Have I told any lies?
Do y'all have the best tight end?
Listen.
Yes,
I was watching the game. I was watching the game against the Giants, right? Wasn't he eating in that game, Zeke?
Yeah, just Zeke.
He was eating, right? And me and my dad are watching. Dad's staunch Cowboys fan. I already told you. Yeah. He's watching the game, and I'm watching it. I'm like, man, Zeke looks slow. Damn, he looks slow. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what Tony Pollard would be doing with these carries? The same shit he did to the Bears. You know what Tony Pollard would be doing with these? Instead of Zeke running like he got cement in his shoes, looking to run somebody, Tony would have ran down the damn sideline for a touchdown. I get
20 carries, 25 carries from Ezekiel Elliott will start to wear and tear down on a lot of defenses in the National Football League.
Yes, indeed. And then that same Tony Pollard, hold on, that same Tony Pollard versus your Washington team averaged 0.8 yards.
Okay, what's your point? Neither one of them dudes ran the football.
He couldn't move. We had to utilize Zeke. Neither
one of them dudes was doing anything.
Well, Zeke,
and that's a lot of
teams. Averaging 0.8. Zeke wasn't averaging 0.8.
That might be the best. That might be the best 1-2 punch at running back in the league for real. Zeke and Pollard.
Yeah, Zeke and Pollard. Yeah.
It may be. I'm not telling you Ezekiel Elliott can't play anymore. I'm just telling you Tony Pollard is the better of the two backs. He should be getting the primary load of the carries. I don't understand why they're trying to force Zeke down everybody's throat is what I'm saying. Hey, you get in the short yardage, you get inside the 5, that's who I'm giving the football to, Ezekiel Elliott. But if I'm between the 20s, Tony Pollard's the man for the job. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And no, Antonio Gibson, he fumbled in the preseason. They had already drafted Brian Robinson. So he was already on a short lease. He fumbled in the preseason and they said, we going to the rookie. That's done. So that was that. It doesn't change the fact that Gibson's super talented. Yeah, they gave up. They pretty much said, you're not our guy because we don't trust you with the rock. I can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
You can be as talented as you want to be.
When would they ever say that to Zeke? When would Zeke have those type of cases?
He did. He had that problem 3 years ago. Sanders, did you forget?
I think Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is a close second. He's in the NFC East. He's
playing really well. I ain't even gonna say what I want to say because y'all gonna call me a hater. We just gonna move on to the next. AJ Meehan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Love the silence from Law because he know Luke's spitting. I don't even know what that's from.
Law was drinking his beverage.
All right, Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes? I say it again. Hurts treason. 11-1.
Treason. What is it?
Lou hit me up. Burgundy. All right, I got you. Will definitely do. You can't do the treason. See, Hurts treason no more. I mean, the dude might win the MVP. You got to give credit where credit is due. Samuel Mays, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? I know the Commanders snuck one on the Eagles. We ain't sneak a damn thing. We went in your house, stomping 11-point dogs, and beat the shit out of y'all. Or as Law said,
this how you know. This how you know.
In your crib.
This how you know it was a sneak. I'm gonna tell you why y'all snuck it in because we ain't make losing a habit. We took our L and won 3 straight after that.
Louie Tee on drugs if he thinks the Commanders beating the Vikings and the Eagles again. Well, we almost beat the Vikings. A wise woman told me almost don't count, but I like that matchup. I already told you, the brand of football we play, nobody wants to see us come postseason because you already know what it is. And if you can't stop it, you're in for a long day. You know you got to deal with our defensive line. You know you got to deal with the run game. You know you got to deal with Terry McLaurin. And you already know what it is. And if you can't deal with all of those components, it's going to be a long afternoon. And we might be getting Chase Young back. I don't know if that's happening or not. I don't know if that's a real thing. But I got a dude with 8.5 sacks. I got a dude with 7.5 sacks. I got another dude with 7.5 sacks. I don't know what y'all. I know Dallas lead the league in sacks. So you got a bunch of dudes doing a whole lot of shit. I don't know what the Eagles got going on, but I'm just telling you, we can get after your quarterback. We can stop the run, and we can run the football. So I like the chances against Minnesota. Minnesota don't blow nobody out. Minnesota don't blow nobody out. So I like the chances that we have going to Minnesota. My moniker is, if Dallas can do it, so can we. It might not be 40-3, but I can go to Minnesota and win. Why the hell not? Samuel, I like my shot, man. I like my chances. Chris Bailey. I like Chris. I got a feeling he about to say something ignorant, though. Chris Bailey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, LOL. Somebody asked Louie how he felt about my Birds after he slandered them before the Titans game. I already talked about what my feelings on that game. And I was flat out wrong about the outcome of the game. I've only picked against the Eagles 3 times this season. I haven't picked against them very many times. Okay. This was the first time, however, that there was a contingency in place that was ended literally with the Titans' first score of the game. And that the only reason I thought they had a chance, because I've been talking all season about how bad the Titans are on offense in terms of their skill position. Outside of Derrick Henry, they don't have anything. But Treylon Burks had been playing. He had his first 100-yard game on a Thursday night against the Packers. He was coming on. He was making those A.J. Brown type catches down the field, all right, mossing on people. And I said, okay, this is the guy that they signed up for. If they could get that out of him, it changes their offense, because now Robert Woods becomes a legitimate number 2, not posing as a number 1. That's why they brought him there, to be with A.J. Brown. Before they traded A.J. Brown, they traded for Robert Woods thinking he would be a great compliment. So now everything was starting to slide into place. And then Burks got hurt, and then you go right back to where you were before he came back from the injury. And that's when the Eagles said, hey, they got nothing now. We got nothing to worry about. Totally. Now, what you did to their defense, I just didn't see that shit coming. I'm going to be honest with you. Hurts did whatever the hell he wanted to do. You did what you wanted to do on the ground against them. I didn't see that coming. I thought they would have more success keeping Jalen Hurts in the pocket, getting to him, disrupting him. I knew their secondary wasn't the best, but I thought the pressure up front was going to be able to slow Hurts down and not allow him to get those shots down. But that Eagles offensive line, it's something serious. And
yeah, it is.
It's something serious. And
they don't like
nobody. To Shane,
they don't like nobody hitting them. You know, they don't like nobody touching Hurts, man. They ready to fight.
That pocket is so pristine sometimes when you just look and there's nobody around this dude. But also you got to give,
man, everybody like this extension out. Everybody's extension out. That's Stoutland University.
But you know what, Louie? When you hit Hurts, that ball tend to bounce around and get out of his hand. It just somehow bounced back to him. You saw that?
You gotta.
Yeah, like what?
He trusts the pocket so much that sometimes he stay in there a little too long. He trusts it so much.
Playoff time, they might come back to bite you.
Look, that's something that he's always been. It's been a problem for him, because a lot of the conversation around him in college was he was too nonchalant with the football, and he's like that sometimes. Well, he'll just be casual.
I don't want to cap.
Huh?
Cap.
What? Casual with the ball?
He'll be like that sometimes. You talk about the MVP here. Now, come on now. Let's keep it clean now.
I'll go into the next
slander on MVP game.
I'll go into the next comment. Tony P56. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, what up, fam? Lou, check your Twitter messages. Do I need to do that now? If I need to do that now, then I will. But if I don't, I can do that later. Door Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I am 45. I saw all 3 of our Super Bowls, LB, and you're 1. So again, he's seen 11 and 1. He knows what that looks like.
So he was 8. He was 8 when it happened.
Hey, look, the man said he's 45. He was not 8 back in 1991.
He was 8.
Stop your foolishness. Stop your foolishness.
Was you paying taxes?
Swaggy P.
I was sipping Henny.
Swaggy P.
Doing a whole lot of fun things when I won the Super Bowl.
Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. He's seen 3. You've seen 1. Respect your elders, okay?
I seen one as an adult. I seen one as an adult. How many have you seen as a grown man? How many have you seen as a grown man? How many have you seen as a grown man? How many have you seen as a grown man?
Respect your elders, okay?
That don't count. You see, that don't count. You seen it. You seen it on that fat back TV in your grandma's house with the plastic on the couch. That don't count.
Respect your elders, all right? Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes. Rank the receivers: Scary Terry, AJ Brown, CD.
He asked you.
Law. Go.
Rank the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Easily, man. 88. Okay. 17, 11.
Go ahead. LB.
AJ Brown, Terry, and CD Lamb.
And I think it's gonna go the same way. Everybody's gonna pick their guy first. I got Terry. I got Terry. I got AJ Brown, and then I got CeeDee Lamb. And honestly, I waffle back and forth between the two. The thing that always pushes me over the top is I just think about if you gave Terry a quarterback, and I know y'all get tired of hearing this, but it's legit. Like if you gave Terry a quarterback, what would his statistics look like? And there's times where the man is open. I always get into it with Cowboys fans because they love to talk about how Trayvon Diggs shuts him down, and it's amazing watching that whole thing because there's times where he's got him beat by 2-3 yards and the ball's short, and then there's times, and the last game was ridiculous because your man I thought they was slow dancing or something. He had him by the hip and he was grabbing him and all. We didn't get any of the calls, which is fine. I just always think about if this man had a quarterback that would put the football where it needed to be to give him a chance. I'll give you a great example. I saw Darius Slay's podcast. Okay. And he talked about getting cooked by Terry. And he said, I didn't think he was going to run the same release twice and take it deep. I didn't think he was going deep. So he got him the first time. He got him again the second time. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson came over and saved him. If that ball's to the outside, it ain't a damn thing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson can do. If that's one of these elite quarterbacks, put that shit on the outside shoulder, that's another touchdown on Darius Slay head. So I'm just telling you.
Do you think his numbers will be better? His numbers will be better with Tannehill?
Who Terry? Absolutely, because I think you disrespecting Ryan Tannehill. I really truly do. I think you're not giving him enough credit.
I mean, I got footage.
And it's the
I'm only saying this because you told me he wasn't a world beater.
He's not. He's a consistent quarterback, though. Can Terry get a consistent quarterback? He ain't had the same starting quarterback since he got to Washington. I just want consistency at this point.
I like this. I like the fact that these 3 guys are in a division, but this is where I draw the line at. None of them could do what AJ Brown did last week. None of them can be that dominant, and none of them could take over a game and put the fear in the heart of a defense the way AJ Brown did. And that's just the bottom line for me. They look pretty. They run pretty routes. None of them will look like that and be that dominant. They won't do it. Yeah, you can look at the all-22 and see the space they create, but will they be dominant like that? Will they maul 3 guys in the end zone and point at them? They just don't possess that gene.
Okay, that's okay.
Listen. Let me ask you this.
My guy got more yards than AJ right now. So
no, he don't. You sure?
Yes, he do. I think
I don't know who got what or what. I just know.
It's close between all 3 of them.
I just know this. My dude don't have a game this year with 1 catch for 4 yards on primetime television.
He don't.
That's all I know.
He still don't got more touchdowns than AJ Brown.
I'm just telling you.
with that one game with 1 catch.
Established that Terry hasn't ever been. Yeah. Look who joined the party. Look at that.
Listen. All right. I'm not feeling really good. I'll hang out with you fellas as long as I can.
Hey, look, man, we just glad you showed up, man.
My wife is under the weather, and I think whatever the hell she has,
you got it too.
Has. But there was no way that I could not
go ahead
and say, "What's up, fellas?
Yeah.
How we doing?"
What's going on?
Yeah.
And LB, if I may say so, it is hurt season. I was wrong, sir.
Oh, okay.
If nothing else,
This is why. This is why he's one of my best friends. Because he told the truth.
So you said it's hurt season, but can you go ahead and end the debate and let them know that CD Lamb is the best wide receiver in this particular division?
Listen,
Come on, man.
I told you CD was going to be a star. That's my guy. Oklahoma Sooner.
It's like asking a Cowboys fan.
No.
CD Lamb.
Go ahead. See, he's coming in.
Get out of here, man. You can't ask him that.
Can I just say, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, though. Can I ask all three of you fellas, what is it like to have a number one receiver? Can somebody let a Giants fan know what the hell it's like to have a CD Lamb or an AJ Brown or a Terry McLaurin?
Well, you can get Odell Beckham now.
Can I get a Michael Gallup on the team? Can I get a Devontae Smith on the team?
Oh man!
Can I get a Samuels on the team?
I feel especially bad because I thought y'all were going to get Devontae Smith. Now fast forward, we got Smitty and AJ.
That's all right. We ended up with Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm okay with that, but. Yeah, but so what are you guys talking about? Louie Tee, we had
receivers actually.
Wide receivers. We're talking about ranking the receivers. Go ahead, break the tie.
I was going to say, if you're talking about wide receivers, you didn't need me involved. I know nothing about them. We don't have them over here with the Giants. I don't know anything about them.
Oh man, you know what?
I actually think it's unfair to kind of rank the wide receivers this year. It's close, man.
You splitting hairs, bro.
All close, man.
Can I just say this now that Bad Dog's here? I've been waiting to say this. Isn't this what we wanted?
Hell yeah.
Isn't this what we wanted? This division being now, I would have preferred to be sitting where LB is. Bare minimum sitting where Law is, right? But look, at the end of the day, this is what we asked for. Iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna see what the hell's going on. We play y'all the biggest game in the division of the season. Will be in week 15, Giants and Washington on Sunday Night Football. Because the winner of that game,
that's the biggest game so far.
Right. And then 2 weeks later, it'll be your game against Dallas. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, this is what we asked for. In the NFC East, playing meaningful games late in the season, primetime television, you know, the marquee matchup of the week. This used to be a regular occurrence.
It did.
In the late 80s, early 90s. This is what
we got to give ourselves a pat on the back because we literally are the only things to talk about. These two games this week and 2 weeks, that's all that really matter. Yeah, everybody else division got one good team and everybody else bad underneath them.
For the most G-Man winning this weekend though. G-Man winning this weekend.
You need them to. They're gonna die this weekend. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's gonna get bloody.
Hey. I would give I'd give almost anything up for that. You know, but if we have a chance to beat the Eagles, it might be the last week of the season because the Eagles might have nothing to play for. They're not undefeated anymore. If they beat Dallas, they have the division sewed up. Maybe they give us one. Maybe they give that one back to us. I just don't think they got the secondary, man. They just don't have the secondary. The Giants. I think you guys are banged up back there. Not this week. I'm saying last week of the season. If you guys are resting your guys because you sewed up.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. This week. No, listen. If we're going to beat you, we have to do what Washington did, and that's just control the ball and run the ball. Run the ball. Keep your offense on the field because we're not stopping you. It's impossible to stop your offense,
and
unless we keep you off the field.
Just play the field, man. Don't get greedy, man. Don't get greedy. Just play the field, punt the ball.
Yeah, Washington did force a lot of turnovers.
You got to force turnovers too. It ain't just good enough to control the clock. Because like even when we were controlling the clock, you know what those bastards did? They said, "Oh, you want to slow it down? We gonna speed this shit up."
Yeah,
they went no huddle.
I know.
They went no huddle.
And they no hero ball, man. Right? No hero ball because those boys, look, you try to crash in on Hurts, he would take it for 28, 30 yards.
Yeah. What did y'all laugh me out of
I love hearing y'all talk about how good we are. I love it. Keep going.
Listen. Y'all laughed me out of the last stream when I said I'd much rather have Jalen Hurts throw it than to run it. Because when he runs, it changes everything. You saw what happened against Green Bay, right? When he's running all over the goddamn place. 160, whatever y'all, 64 yards, whatever the hell.
That's because they just didn't want to play contain. They just didn't want to do it for some reason.
There ain't no excuse for that shit.
Yeah,
you get me once.
It ain't no excuse.
You get me once, okay.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
So what do you do? You play man? Because he has proven that he has developed as a passer. You gonna play man? I don't think it's really nothing that anybody could do.
No.
We just play. We play man. We play man. We play zone. We play match coverage. That's what we did against y'all.
Y'all kept the ball out of his hands. That's what y'all did against us.
We really did.
Anybody that got the defense that can really slow it down would be the Giants, because that guy who used to be the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, and he married up good against Lamar Jackson and those boys. So I'm quite sure that
this is the problem. If they, because Wink don't give a shit who you are. He blitzing.
He does. Okay?
Wink is coming, and he
don't give a shit. Who was the best player against the blitz?
It's over. That's the case.
Who was the best player against the blitz?
Don't worry.
Best quarterback against the blitz this year.
That's okay.
Everybody blitzes him because nobody respects his arm. Then he come out there and put 380 on your head.
I ain't blitzing.
Go ahead and blitz. I hope he do blitz. I hope he do blitz.
If I'm not mistaken, at one point in
Washington
had the ball 35 minutes to Philly 6. Sometime in it was insane.
Yeah, it was time of possession.
And I'm like, if the Giants are going to beat them, I mean, you saw it, and I've been saying it all week. Washington and the Giants are mirror images of one another, and we played a 2020 tie. This was my prediction. There's receipts of this too. You can go back to my stream and go to when Chris and I work with Patricia Traina. My prediction was the Giants were going to win the game 21-20 because Ron Rivera was going to go for 2 at the end of the game, and it wasn't going to get it. So they did score at the end of the game. He didn't go for 2. We tied at 20. So that was pretty damn close in my assessment. And, of course, both teams had ample opportunity. In overtime, both teams just didn't get it done.
My prediction was actually a tie. This is also
I saw was that Instagram? I forgot where you
a little bit of that was me hating, though.
I think you super chatted.
I super chatted somebody and another roundtable was like, man, them boys gonna tie. That was me hating because that's what I wanted. I didn't want either team to win. But it still happened.
That's how I feel this week. I just want y'all to beat the hell out of each other personally. I don't really give a shit.
Another tie.
I'll take a tie against Philly.
I don't care who wins, tie. That shit doesn't matter to me. Just beat the hell out of each other.
I say it all the time, Louie. I'm like, listen, I hate all the teams.
That's what the Eagles and Giants do.
I love our division. I hate all the teams in it, but God, there's nothing makes me happy to watch 2 teams beat the hell out of each other. Like the Cowboys.
And no injuries. No injuries. I wanted it to be a clean game on Christmas. I want both teams to be really healthy.
People don't understand this next 3 weeks for us, man. The Giants ain't going to lay down. Come on, man. They're not going to lay down. You know what I mean?
It's family business. They no laying down.
And then that's what I'm saying. And then 2 weeks after that, the Dallas Cowboys damn sure not going to lay down.
Who y'all
we've been hearing? We play the Bears.
Next week
we play the Bears. The Bears.
Ooh, come on.
That's a body bag. Stop playing
come
with
on,
me.
man.
They done. They dead meat.
They
dead meat.
Run the ball.
Fields might not play.
We got nothing.
But we'll see.
All right. Brett Yeomans, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, how y'all feel about the Birds having 2,000-yard receivers in Brown and Smitty and 1,000-yard rusher in Sanders? Jalen is the MVP, about to put up 4,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing himself. I mean, I've said this already. He's not going to have
1,000 yards rushing on.
I don't think he will either, but I've said this already. So much credit has to be given to Shane Steichen. I don't think enough credit is being given to him. Some of the shit I see him draw up, like what makes your offense so hard to stop. One, Jalen Hurts is playing his ass off. I can't stress that enough. But some of the shit y'all are dialing up, it's like, how the hell do you stop that shit? When you go RPO, Hurts starts running out to the flats, and A.J. Brown coming across the formation into the flats. You come up to stop Hurts, and he just dumped the shit to A.J. Brown.
It's perfectly dialed up. The IQ of the quarterback, though, that has to run something like that got to be next level, man. You got to think it's like 4 different options for each play.
Triple,
you know what I mean? It's like a quadruple option because he also can be a runner himself in a lot of these situations. So a lot of this stuff is brilliant, man. It's like when I look at some of the all 22, it's just mind blowing, man. It's mind blowing.
Oh yeah, I want this McNabb Fab 5. Thank you for the super chat. Writes, LB, stop doing streams with the rationals. Louie can't be honest. I'd give him work. LOL. Boy, you don't want this smoke. I kill your ass. I'm trying to tell you right now. You don't want this smoke, bro. Stay right where you at in the chats. Have fun, okay?
Listen,
you don't want this smoke, bro.
My guy,
I'll drag your ass. Okay, you saw what I did the last time from the stream. Okay, when I started pulling receipts, I drag your ass. Okay, and have fun doing this shit. Don't do that. Stay in the comment section, bro. Stay in the comment section. You don't watch me enough to know what I be saying over here. Okay. If you did, then you know what I be saying. So stay in your lane.
He give you crazy work.
He would get work. Just like I had to give you some.
You ain't never dragged me. You ain't never dragged me.
This man went in the witness protection program. He went from tweeting and posting on IG every day. I didn't see him for like 4 days. I had to do a wellness check. I sent the police to his house.
Listen, man. Louie Tee, you don't know the cloth. You don't know the cloth I'm cut from. One thing I never did was ever hide. Ever hide. Ever hide.
I had to check on you, man. I was nervous.
No, you just was trying to rub it in. Listen, I gave y'all credit. I gave y'all credit. I'm gonna give it to you again right here. You know what I mean? But the reason why, you know what? I don't have to give you no damn credit. The season ain't over. We 11-1. You know what I mean? I'm acting like y'all won something substantial. Y'all got y'all take your W. Take your W. It catapulted your season. It definitely changed things for y'all. It definitely put a spark in y'all.
They haven't lost the game since then, didn't you?
Right. They have not lost since.
No, we lost to the Vikings. We lost to the Vikings.
Y'all lost to the Vikings? What was the score?
We lost to the Vikings 20-17. They beat us by field goal.
Okay.
And we were up 17-7 with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and we blew it. Heineke threw a pick. That was pretty much how that game went. But look, I'm trying to tell you, we can beat anybody in this conference because of the way we play. Because we play ball control. If we don't make any mistakes, and you do, and the thing that's changed since earlier in the season when we had the stream was we weren't forcing any turnovers. We weren't forcing turnovers, and we weren't running the football. Now we're running the football, and the defense, we forcing 1 or 2 turnovers every game, sometimes 3 or 4. LB, no. JB Johnson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, what about Baker Mayfield to the Commanders? He's already on the Rams roster. They put the claim in for him.
Baker Mayfield a bum.
Yeah,
he's better than Heineke.
Kevin Quinn, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, Washington got the best D line in the division.
Well, how come we second in sacks?
How come we first?
Right.
I mean, look, Dallas, you're collectively like I don't think people. I love Donovan Smith. I mean Donovan
Wilson.
Yeah, he's got like 4 sacks. Like anybody can get it on your defense, man. Y'all just do a really good job of changing shit up. But look, again, you got a lot of diversity on that line, and y'all come in waves. But again, this is the difference between my line, your line, and then my line is better than the Eagles line in terms of.
No, it's not.
It is. It is.
In terms of draft picks, in terms of high draft picks, okay.
In terms of the consistency with which we get to the quarterback. So you got, first of all, I just told you we got an 8.5, a 7.5, and a 6.5. I don't know what you got.
We got an 8, we got a 9, we got a 5.5.
All right. So you don't
have 5.5.
You don't have another dude with.
We're second in sacks
with 6 or more. You don't have.
We have more sacks than you.
Right, but you blitz corners, you blitz safety, you blitz a lot of different.
No, we don't. We don't blitz corners.
You do have some. You do have.
No, we don't.
You don't blitz them often because your dude don't blitz. Jonathan Gannon don't blitz a lot. But what I'm telling you is, when you look at the defensive line, your problem is, and you had to go get reinforcements to stop the run. I don't have to do none of that shit. I take my same 4 dudes. Sometimes I throw a 5th on the field. And I stop that shit. Shut that shit down. Ain't nobody else in the division doing that.
Y'all have the better consistent run stoppers. Then I like those.
We get after the quarterback and we stop the run. Get you a D line that can do both. We can do that.
Yeah. How many sacks Sweat got? That's a good question.
Your Sweat or mine?
My Sweat.
He probably got. I'm gonna put
him.
He
got 6.5.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say I put him at 7. That's the only guy on your defensive line that I fear. Javon Hargrave's a close second, but I don't worry about none of them other dudes. I don't worry about
Javon Hargrave got 8. Hassan Reddick got 9 sacks. What are you talking about?
I don't worry about Hassan Reddick. I don't worry about Hassan Reddick. He probably got 2 or 3 of them
9 sacks with 5 games left to go.
He probably got 3 of them. In
Hassan Reddick didn't get a sack. He didn't get a sack until like week 4. He didn't have 1 sack until like week 4.
I bet you he had a sack against us. I'm pretty sure he forced a fumble against us. I'm pretty sure it was him.
He may be. Yeah, we sacked y'all 10 times.
Exactly. So like, don't even do that. That's the reason you second in the league in sacks. Try that shit on the train. You ain't do that shit the second.
We haven't had a healthy front four. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
We haven't had it. Not in the last week against Washington. It's the first time we had Azeez Ojulari, KT.
And you saw what you saw the difference he made.
Dex, I'll tell you what, I put our 2 defensive tackles against any 2 defensive tackles in this.
When healthy. When they're healthy, yeah.
Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, I'll put them against anybody.
And
like I said, give me the edge. I'm waiting to see what these 4 guys can do when they're all healthy.
I don't think nobody gets held more than Kayvon Thibodeau. Shit, but they better let us get away with holding.
Man,
he been getting held all damn year.
Yeah,
Parson get held more than anybody.
You know, it's funny because a lot
man.
of Giants fans are like, "Oh, he's a bust. He got 2 sacks." I'm like, you watch how disruptive this guy is. He's always in the backfield. Yes. Does he need to get under control a little bit better and contain a little bit better? Yes. And he needs to learn how to sell that hold because he does. He gets held in every damn play.
Yeah, he gets held a lot.
Every play.
I think he get held. I think he get held more than Parsons.
So this is the next maturation for him. Because mentally, if you a dog, y'all win the game on Sunday. Ain't no way the quarterback don't know I'm coming, and that ain't a forced fumble.
Yep.
He didn't even go for the football. He gave him a forearm in his back.
Yes, somebody's got to learn because you saw at the beginning of the game, Azeez Ojulari did go for the football.
He did.
Forced the
Dogs
turnover,
no.
Touchdown.
Dogs that hunt no.
Yep.
All right. That dog don't hunt that way.
He'll learn. He's a rookie.
He better.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Game over. I guarantee you.
And he missed the first month of the season.
Woo. I thought the game was over.
He's probably just happy to get set.
Actually, when he came in, I was like, how the hell did Heineke hold on to that thing?
Because he didn't go for it. That's why. He didn't go for it.
Hey, Bronson.
Shit was over.
Hey, Bronson, they're going to be calling some holding call this weekend, so don't get mad now.
They definitely going to call them on us. They definitely.
You asked for it.
You asked for it.
LD, thank you for the super chat. Who writes, Eagles are the most disciplined team in the East. They weren't on Sunday, but they have been all season. I can admit that. They have been all season. They weren't on Sunday, though.
We got root for Seattle to start losing some games. I want every team in this division to postseason. I just think that'd be awesome.
Bad though. It ain't gonna happen, bro.
Washington ain't gonna make it.
He keeps saying that, but I'm trying to. What I'm telling you is, out of everybody sitting here, the likelihood is the Giants are the one that I've said this already, and I want all 4 of us in. Like I said, but the Seahawks aren't going away. They play the Panthers.
I know. They got the Rams.
Play the Rams again.
They got easy schedules.
They're not going away. And
they got like 2. They have like 2 teams that may beat them. Rams should have beat their ass. The Rams had to give up a last-second touchdown. Come on.
Right. But by the time they play them in Week 18, the Rams will have their U-Haul trucks packed up. Right.
Well, they got Baker Mayfield. Look out.
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
We just talked about that.
That game against the Washington Giants game, man. That's it for one of our 2 teams.
Yeah.
What would happen if we tied again? How stupid would that be?
That would be funny.
Y'all should, so y'all can both go to the playoffs.
LT, I can't make sense of this comment. Can y'all see the comment on the
screen?
Are
there 10 quarterbacks / wide receivers better than Hurts and Dak NFC East wide receivers? I guess that's what it said.
That sounds like what it says.
Are there 10 quarterback
wide receivers
NFL?
Better
Probably
than
not.
Hurts and Dak / NFC East wide receiver?
Y'all joining Pig Latin, LT. That's my guy, LT. You done wrote that in Pig Latin. Write it again. We'll read it.
That's definitely an Eagles fan. Definitely. Definitely. JR806. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Right. Super Bowls don't expire. DC4L.
You damn sure get dusty as hell. And you ain't seen one since 1995.
We got some wipes.
You ain't seen one since 1995.
That's right. Okay. Dallas Cowboys fan, be kind. Please rewind that VHS.
Right.
Go.
y'all picking on us, but that's okay. We got 5 of them, and we the youngest team in this division, and we owning y'all.
Rudy Trujillo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, AJ got shut down by the Skins. He know. Those who know,
and he still got the most receiving. He still got the most receiving yards.
I don't have nothing to do.
And the most touchdowns.
I don't have nothing to do with none of that other stuff. I'm just telling you what he did against us. I can't speak for nobody else.
Yeah.
Louie,
I'm not liking our matchups.
No, I don't like your matchup.
You got no damn corners, man.
Right.
AJ gonna have 200 yards on Sunday.
You know what's funny? I think it'll be Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith's gonna be the one to give us a headache.
Louis de France writes, Jalen Hurts has 45 yards less rushing and one more touchdown than Zeke this year. How is he not the MVP? Fly, Eagles, fly.
He's the MVP.
I mean, Zeke been out for a number of games, man. But
anyway, Zeke a running back.
The reason I would say,
and so is Jalen Hurts.
I mean,
that's the corniest running joke I've heard all season.
Hey, that ain't changed. He's still a running back. He's just throwing the ball better. That's all. Tony P56. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Right. So what a time to be alive in the NFC East. If Heineke started week 1, I believe we'd be tied with Dallas. Man, my sister said the same thing. I still don't buy that shit. I don't know if.
I mean, you might.
I don't know. I can't say. I don't like to play that game. What if? You know, he didn't start. He's won since he's gotten in, and
you've been playing what if all night. What if my wide receiver had a quarterback? You've been playing what if all night.
No. I don't. I told you.
I'm just playing. Dak never got hurt. Dak could be 11-1. You know what I'm saying? It could be the same thing. You know?
I told you I don't like to play that game. That's why I told you. I just take my guy. That's it. That's all I said.
Yeah. Who'd y'all lose? I think. Do you beat the Heineken lose to the Lions?
He didn't start until the Packers game was his first start. So he didn't play the first 6 weeks of the season. His first start was week 7. All right.
He just finds a way.
That's not that outlandish.
He's blowing you off the stat sheet. He finds a way to win.
This is the thing. I haven't been able to say this about a quarterback in Washington in quite some time. But with the game on the line, I'll take my guy.
I'll tell you what pissed me off more.
You'll take who?
In that
game. You'll take who with the game on the line? Your quarterback?
When he
you'll take your quarterback
down, I was pissed. That fourth down when it was like 4th and 14, whatever the hell it was, that pissed me off.
But that's the play he's been making his entire career.
I know, but I'm like, you can't. If you're the Giants, you can't allow them to get down the field like that. You got to make them convert. You catch the ball in front of your defense. How you let them go 20 yards down the field on 4th down and 10 or whatever the hell it was?
Yeah, it was 4th and 4 and
4th and 4, whatever the hell it was. Bullshit. Don't let them complete their damn pass. Get there. Close the game.
I have not heard that stadium louder, and I haven't heard it quieter than after that catch.
Oh,
you could hear a pin drop.
Oh, it sucked.
After he rolled,
we had the game right there.
I was talking about this dude earlier, Curtis Samuel. They was making him seem like he was trash. Big 4th down catch on that play, and he's
that was Heineke. It wasn't even Samuel. Heineke.
He had to get open. Because that wasn't his route. It's not like he ran a route over there.
I know, but if Heineke don't get out of the pocket and extend that play, Samuel
Heineke makes those types of plays, and that's what he's been doing. He did it against the Colts. He did it against the Packers. He did it against y'all. He's done it all season long. He did it last year as well. That's what he does. In those situations, the game on the line, I trust him.
Yeah, I'm looking to get another shot at that guy.
We looking to get another shot at y'all. Yeah, I'm pissed off that the game.
Yeah, it wasn't settled.
Hell no. Not when you tie. Of course not.
I'll tell you what, if Graham Gano was kicking the ball against us, I bet you that shit goes in.
Well, didn't he kick
read that yarder against us a few years ago?
Read that comment, Louis.
AJ Meehan.
Let me get this pillow.
Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Writes, don't sleep on Burrow for MVP either.
We snoozing, boy. That's Hurts award. That's Hurts award.
I'll tell you why Hurts may not win that, because of what somebody mentioned earlier. You have a 1,000-yard rusher. You have 2,000-yard receivers. It shows he's got a really good team around him. Take Hurts off of that team, they're not as good, but take Mahomes off the Chiefs. What do you got? Take Josh Allen off the Bills. What do you got?
Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers has been winning that award with 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard rushers, running backs. Aaron Rodgers has been winning that award with weapons for his whole career. Everybody that wins that award has
they have one or two. They're not surrounded by like the best.
Peyton Manning got 5. Peyton Manning got 5, who had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Edgerrin James. Peyton Manning got 5.
He's throwing for 5.
Hey, man, I got
45, 50 touchdowns every year.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He got 5 MVPs with playing with 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, but his stats.
The weapons don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't
run. Weapons don't matter. Heineke wouldn't have them dudes with them numbers.
Maybe he would. What do you think, Louie?
I don't think
Heineke's trash. Let's keep it 100.
I wouldn't. One, he's not. What a lot of people don't. He beat your ass though.
He beat your ass though.
He did, but he's still trash. He's still trash. He's still trash.
I feel
he's trash.
It's coming to America.
He
said, Joe Louis, he said.
Was Heineke impressive? Was Heineke impressive in that game? Was it the game plan or was it Taylor Heineke? It was time of possession. It was running the ball. It was a good game plan. That worked.
I don't know. The 100 yards that Terry had, did he just magically get those? Or did Taylor Heineke throw the goddamn football?
Terry had a good game. But come on, we all know Taylor Heineke ain't like that for real.
Well, the Eagles don't know. Maybe other teams do. The Eagles don't know that yet.
Man, we're 11-1. Y'all in last place.
And
hoping we take care of business for y'all. You need us. You need us this Sunday. If you want to make the playoffs, you need us this Sunday.
I don't need you. I've already.
And you know what we're not going to do? We damn sure. You need us.
Anything.
You need us.
I don't need you.
You should give us a Father's Day card. Give us a Father's Day card after.
We don't need you
after we take care of the Giants on Sunday. I'm expecting a Father's Day card from the Washington for helping them out.
Why? When we sunned y'all already. Why would you get a Father's Day card for me when we sunned y'all in November?
Y'all need us. Man.
We don't need y'all. I already told you.
We'll help you.
If they're 8-4, 8-4-1 when they come see us, and we beat them, and we're both 8-5-1 after the game, we own the tiebreaker. I don't need you for anything. Okay?
You won't be in the playoffs this year.
And we'll come back and revisit that later on, like we always do. And I'll be sure to pull that receipt.
Will.
You just make sure you don't go into witness protection again.
I'm gonna be in the playoffs. I'm not gonna be worried about. I'm not gonna be worried about.
Right there,
I'm not gonna be worried about you.
I'll be right there. And as a matter of fact, I told you I plan on making a trip to the lane. You just be there and have my shit warm for me. It's gonna be cold outside.
How dare you speak to me? Then you talk about you coming to my city. How dare you speak to me like this? You tell me you coming to my stadium.
Already in your house and ran through your house with dirty shoes already. Disrespected your crib, went in your kitchen and ate all your snacks. Went in your
I can see if you swept. I would really understand this if you swept us. I would really understand this.
Favorites on Monday Night Football at home. Deal with it.
Yeah. I hope you got a banner for that. I hope it's a banner. I hope it's a banner on your raggedy ass stadium for that win. I hope there's a banner up there somewhere.
Hey, Law, like your voice, but your boys, Cowboys sound like chipmunks. Do something about that. What did you guys do to Mad Dog? He's hiding. He wasn't hiding. We already explained this already. He had prior engagement. On the internet first of all, let me get a timeout. His name is Bad Dog. Okay?
There you go.
Get his damn name right.
Get my damn name right.
Let me tell you
something. That's an old super chat.
You guys like me. Respect it.
Yeah.
Know my name. Know my name.
Yeah.
They spell chipmunks right. Where do they go to church? Chip.
And first of all, don't be talking about you like that man voice again.
Yeah,
I ain't like that.
There needed to be a pause after that.
Yeah, I ain't like that. Yeah. Hey, Law, don't be in here trying to get your Barry White on. Because
that was Teddy P, man. That was Teddy P. Dominic Garland, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate your rights. Lou predicted the Eagles defeat Lord B.
Of course he would. We played them. He's a Washington fan. That's not a prediction.
Nah, I told you when we were 2-4, and I said, "Don't let me catch you outside. Don't let me catch you outside undefeated."
That wasn't the only person the only person that would honestly predict on this panel, and I wouldn't even fucking do it. The only person that would honestly predict his team to lose is Bad Dog. He's the only one that will honestly do that. I damn sure wouldn't. I ain't gonna lie to you right now. You wouldn't even, or Law wouldn't do it.
None of y'all would do it. Watch my channel then. I predict Washington to lose all the time. I'm not a homer, bro. What you got to understand is I keep it a buck with my
this season, because you got a little taste of winning, a rare taste. You ain't predicting y'all to lose.
I got a rare taste of it too, but now reality slapped me in the face.
No,
I'll tell you what hurt.
That's all it takes. It's for reality to set.
The Lions game hurt, man. Cowboys, I figured we're not beating them. 4-day week, Thanksgiving. Dallas beat us up with their backup last time. I was like, we should have been able to beat Detroit. They whipped her, and then we let the game get away from us in Washington. Feliciano got to walk up to, I was going to sleep or whatever. Dude, you suck. Just sit back there when Slayton comes back to the huddle, then flex. When you win the game, flex. Don't go into a group of Washington commanders and flex. Oh, look at me. Yeah, and then the game's over. We had first down right around the 30-yard line in field goal range already. You're going to run off more clock. You may score a touchdown. You may run the clock out. He gave it back. That shit pisses me off. Don't give the game away. We had that. We had it. We let it go. It pisses me off. I don't like that. I don't like when that's the thing. We're not good enough to overcome stupid mistakes like that. We don't win on talent. We win on execution. We win on turnover battle. We win on time possession running the ball. We can't do things like that. That was the equivalent of a turnover. And it gave Washington a chance. Sucks. I want another shot at Washington.
Same. I feel the same exact way. We dominated that game. Had over 100 more total yards. We had over 10 minutes of time of possession
overall. You dominated the first quarter.
Look, you didn't have you only had 2 first downs in the second half. 2. That's it. You literally scored your 1 touchdown in the third quarter after the fumble from 20 yards out. That was it. After that, you did nothing.
Because you know why? You know why, Louie? This is the one thing that drives. I love our coaching staff. Don't get me wrong. This has been a great year for the Giants. I mean, we're first year of a rebuild. We got a lot of work to do. We know that. We have holes everywhere. We had no we had no cap space. We got a brand new GM. We got everything's brand new. We're 7-4-1. We can make the playoffs, and I'm happy about that. But one thing that drives me insane about this coaching staff, it's like we get a lead and we sit on it. There's no aggression factor. There's no let's go for the jugular. Let's go for the throat. We got these guys down and down by touchdown. Let's get more aggressive. Let's try to score again. Let's get up by. They don't, and I don't understand that. It's like they try to protect it. Stop playing not to lose. Play to win.
I got a question for both of you guys because we all know a tie is pathetic, especially a divisional tie. And, I think both of you guys' teams, you're in a good division, but I just think both of you guys are pathetic, especially Washington. I can't stand them this year. Good. That's why I really hate them.
About that one loss you guys
I'm real salty. I ain't going to lie.
I'm waiting for
I can't stand them. So what was the determinant? So
76 years old when we played.
So if you could sum it up to one thing, why did you guys not win that game? Why did you guys not win that game, and why did it result into a tie?
Who you talking to? Both of us or just one?
Both of you guys? Because you both tied.
I just told you
with each other.
I can tell you exactly.
I just told you about we lost. And our field goal kicker missed the DM.
They dominated the second quarter. We jumped out to a 10-0 lead. I told you we've been forcing turnovers. We first forced a turnover on the first possession of the game. That turned into a field goal. Should have been a touchdown. This is why I'm talking about Heineke. Missed a wide open Logan Thomas. Would have been a touchdown. Okay. Had to settle for a field goal. We next possession, we get the football. We force a 3 and out, get the ball back, score a touchdown. Terry McLaurin touchdown. 10-0. They dominate the second quarter. They scored 10 unanswered points. We follow with a field goal. They tie it up at field goal. This is the only time I thought you were not aggressive. How do you have 3 timeouts? You're at like the 18-yard line. And you just decide, I'm cool with a field goal before it happens. That read option, it's like 15 seconds left. You got no timeouts, and you're like at 11. You should be taking 2 shots to the end zone.
That was driving me crazy. I'm like, why are we running there? It was 3rd and 1, and he ran for a first down. I'm like, dude, you have time. It's pretty much 4th down. Throw the ball into the freaking end zone. But I'll tell you this, it did not help that Darius Slayton dropped that deep pass. That did not help matters at all. He catches that ball totally different.
It is, but if Daniel Jones makes a better throw, he might score.
That wasn't the best throw. But
it wasn't a good throw at all.
Hit him in the hands.
But he literally had to stretch as far as his frame could go.
I'm not saying Daniel Jones threw a perfect pass. He didn't. Does McLaurin catch that pass?
He didn't catch the one in overtime when your man hit him. The safety hit him.
He got hit. Slayton didn't get hit.
McLaurin yes, Terry catches that ball. Yes.
Brunson does what's his face?
Yeah, he do. You already know. You know he do.
Law Nation. Just CeeDee Lamb come down with that catch.
That's questionable.
Yeah, no,
that's questionable.
I don't know about
that's
that.
questionable there.
That's
questionable
there. Don't be disrespectful to CD. Yes, indeed.
My man be having a drop seat.
I see somebody in the chat saying if no, it's not if LB asked why we lost the game, why he thought Washington lost. That's why we lost, because the guy dropped the pass. It's not
that's why you tied. Let's get it correct.
No. Felt like a loss.
Okay,
why do ties feel like losses?
Let me
because they not wins.
You're right. There ain't no second place.
I keep saying loss too, and it's a tie.
Yeah.
So in the second half, we fumbled on the opening possession. It was a great play by Azeez Ojulari, forced a fumble to get the ball out. They scored a touchdown on that. Took the lead 20 to 13.
On our first possession too.
So after that, after that fumble, we had a drive of 12 plays, 6 minutes and 57 seconds, and we had a bogus penalty called on us by the officials, a block in the back. It's the worst call I've ever seen. We can't overcome this type of shit. We already had a false start that we overcame, and then you get a bogus block in the back on a 9-yard run in the Giants' territory. It killed the drive. Okay,
you watched.
So we had to put that was a 6 minute.
Did you watch that? Did you watch the Thanksgiving game? The Thanksgiving Day game? The phantom holding call that gave Dallas the opportunity to score.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see it after we scored a touchdown? Let's throw the flag. Man,
that was terrible.
That was crazy.
All the time.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
And so you got that, and then we had another drive that was 11 plays, 7 minutes, and that drive ended because we had a legit holding penalty on our tight end.
Yeah, that drive, that holding penalty did kill us.
That killed us. It was a legit holding penalty. That was another.
So you didn't get any points from a.
So then after that, after the holding penalty, we ended up getting sacked on third down, and it pushed us to a 52-yard field goal, and he missed.
Yeah,
that was for game. That was the one for the game.
No, that was the one that would have made it 20-16, and then the touchdown that we scored at the end would have given us the lead instead of it tying the ball game up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm asking all of these questions because my game was on. My game was on at the same time.
Yeah, no.
So
what I'm telling you,
I watch all the division games.
We dominated the second half of this game. We just didn't have anything to show for it. The only reason the Giants
that's what the Giants have done all year. That's what we do. It's just we tighten up in the red zone. We're a very good red zone.
You're the 5th best. I told them the keys to the game. The Giants are the 5th best red zone defense in the NFL. That's where the game is going to come down to. Yeah. And we had an opportunity in the red zone, and we didn't take advantage of it. You miss a wide open receiver, you get what you get. That come on now, Bad Dog. That's not pass interference on. Fabian Moreau.
Oh, it was.
Okay, so
we don't care about that.
No.
I don't care about that. I do not care about no referee business, especially from the Washington fan.
Yeah.
At the same time, look. We threw the ball down the field, and our guy, I forgot who he was throwing it to. Our guy got mugged, and they didn't call it either.
I know the play you're talking about. Look, at the end of the day, I told you, we had an opportunity to get in the end zone on that drive, and he didn't make
both that opportunity.
So at the end of the day, it is what it is.
At the end of the day, it's a damn tie.
It's a tie. And you feel empty after a tie. You feel empty. You feel unfulfilled.
Horrible.
Which is why I'm so glad we're doing this shit again.
Again, I see someone in the chat saying excuses. Lord Brunson asked us why we lost the game. It's not excuse.
Yeah, that was
why we lost.
Hey, those type of people, you don't respond to them.
I know. I understand. They don't
John
watch football.
Thank you for the
super chat.
Yeah, somebody's in the chat right now. He said, "LB, you're fat and ugly." I mean,
you don't respond to that garbage.
I just had a
Wagyu
steak. Shit was like $300. Yeah, I'm fat. I ate good.
You don't have to respond to it, man. Don't talk.
Just remember this, especially on the internet. Whenever somebody posts a comment like that, they are just projecting their inner feelings about their own selves. That's what.
Oh yeah, I already know that. I already know that. But sometimes I get bored, and I
do too. Listen, I get a lot of that crap, and then one time you just gotta slap.
Every now and again, you got to make an example out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. You got to put somebody on the Summer Jam screen. That's what I call it. I put somebody on the Summer Jam screen every now and then.
John Livingston, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, question for LB and Law. Can you guess who's leading the NFL in yak, broken tackles, contested catches, punt return average? Food for thought. I'm going to just let y'all know. I wouldn't answer that if I were y'all. I wouldn't answer that if I were y'all.
Why not?
I'm gonna just you can answer it if you want.
I don't even know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like It's a guy that does all of that. Punt return, yards after catch. Who's this guy?
Richie James? No, just
Richie James.
Right.
Rico.
Bad dog. I do got to tell you this. Please stop calling that dude Big Play Slay. Please, for the life of me. Please. Slay. They call him Slayton Big Play Slay, and it's getting disrespectful in the city of Philadelphia. Please stop calling him Big Play Slay.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was
the
a
second
thing.
highest.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
NFL.
It's a thing.
So
I don't hear anybody say that, but
thank you for the super chat. Who do you guys want in the first round? LB gets 2.
I'm just happy.
I get 2 choices for the first round.
Well, you got 2 first round picks, is what he's saying.
Oh, who do I want in the first round? I mean, when you 11-1, you don't make draft videos.
I don't. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Ain't none of. I can't speak for y'all. I ain't thinking about the draft right now. Normally, this time of the year,
I ain't thinking about the draft.
I ain't thinking about the draft. I'm thinking about some bonus football over here.
It's funny, Giants fans. We still talk about the draft all the time.
Y'all know y'all going home. That's why
all the time. But
okay.
Wide receiver. We need a wide receiver. I really like Michael Penix, but he's going back to Washington.
Going back, yeah. I think that's ultimately that's what's going to hurt this draft. A lot of guys that would be great prospects in this draft class, and it's smart on his part because he's not going to be one of the top quarterbacks. You go back.
That's why I was like, we might be able to steal him later in the draft. I really like.
Yeah, right. And he goes back, and his stock might skyrocket because I thought he played well for Washington.
Yeah, he's really good. He played well for Indiana too.
He did. I mean, it's Indiana. So
I know they were a top 10 team with him there. Indiana sucks. You were top 10. They were ranked in the top 10 with Penix there at one point.
I remember the game against Ohio State when Justin Fields was there. I just remember that game.
Yeah,
it was a shootout.
I got one question for you, Louie. I'm gonna have to get out of here after this question. One question. Right. Now we're 11-1, right? Mm-hmm. We got a top 10 pick next year in the draft at 11-1. Is Howie Roseman the best GM in the NFL? I know you don't like that. You gave me a lot of flack about that. Now can we reassess? My dog Howie Roseman.
He's still not the best GM in the league, but he's one of the best. Now, I got to give him credit. The reason he did it, and now it looks even better because the reason he did it for, he doesn't even have to use the pick for it anymore. This was an insurance policy in case Jalen Hurts wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And
it don't even have nothing to do with that.
It did have everything to do with that. He was kicking the can down the road. You're talking about it. Howie Roseman being the best doesn't have nothing to do with that. Yes, it does.
No, well, that's one of the reasons because you got 2 first-round picks at 11-1. Yeah, it was an insurance policy, but the acquisitions that he also acquired. You got a guy off free agency who leads your team in sacks, and I signed Reddick with 9. You got another guy. You traded for another guy in Gardner Johnson who leads the league in picks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's a combination of everything.
He's been aggressive.
Traded for AJ Brown, right?
He's been aggressive when he's needed to, and I still think the Saints were stupid for trading Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. That's why.
So who better than?
Who as a GM?
You talk about Brandon Beane still?
Yes, I always talk about Brandon Beane. I've always told you Brandon Beane to me is the best GM in football.
That's why Giants fans should be extremely excited about our future. Why? Where did Joe Shane come from? Who Joe Shane learned from?
I'm just telling you.
Who did Brandon Brown? Where did he come from? Who did Brandon Brown learn from? The 2 best GMs in the league were assistant GMs, and now they're here with the Giants. So, I mean, these guys, anybody can work the cap. It's going to be Shane and Brandon Brown.
I love the Bills roster. I love what they've built, and they don't have to do what and again, you're going for it. I don't ever fault the team for pushing all their chips to the center of the table. But when you build a roster that can withstand injuries, you don't have to go out and trade for 2 dudes to help you stop the run. You don't have to go beef up your pass rush with a guy that's now on IR that's not working out. You don't have to do these things in the season if you've already built a roster ready to compete and win a Super Bowl.
But every roster's got
everybody.
The Bills roster, their only hole is corner potentially, and they drafted a guy that they didn't think would start in like this 5th or 6th round. And
good GMs fill needs as they come. Didn't the Dallas Cowboys just? I'm not saying their GM is the best, but they did just pick up a cornerback because one of theirs went down.
But they got 8 dudes injured in the secondary.
I mean, when you start looking at the overall collective, you got to.
You start looking at your record and knowing that you have a realistic
I would
shot.
never fault a guy for pushing his chip to the center. I'm just telling you, the Bills are in the same spot you are. They think they can win a Super Bowl. They can stand.
No, I agree. And you don't think
in a position. They lost guys. They lost what
Von Miller. So Von Miller is done. So you don't think they're gonna sign nobody?
No,
they probably
got
already
90
did.
different edge rushers. Who you gonna sign this time of the year that's gonna make a difference? Y'all went out and got Robert Quinn, and the dude ain't done a damn. He ain't busted a grape.
He on IR now.
Yeah, he's on. But he'll be back for the playoffs. And you know what's the good thing about that? We know we gonna be in the playoffs. So we know he's gonna play again.
I'll be honest.
It's not like it was a waste.
What the Eagles are doing this year, the Rams did that last year, and it paid off for them.
Right.
The Rams
I don't think so.
They added
I don't think so. The Rams did it completely differently.
They did it
different.
Rams,
they added pieces in the middle of the year.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
okay.
They moved future though to win now. They paid. They
literally
paid.
Yeah, they have in a much better situation.
They're gonna be bad for a very long time.
Yes, they are. But you know what? It was worth it because they won a Super Bowl.
All right, so you can leave on this one, LB. T-Law Nation, thank you for the super chat rights. Dallas gonna beat the Eagles 50-23.
Shout out to T-Law Nation. T-Law Nation, what's
Who
good?
That's your cousin. That's your cousin, Law.
I don't know. Hey, shout out to him then. You know, appreciate it.
Before I called him foolish, I want to make sure he was of no relation.
Look,
that was crazy. That ain't happening.
He got Law and Nation in his name, so he's a great man. He's a great man with a great name.
All right, y'all, man. I can't wait for the next one. I got a dip.
All right, man. Get out of here, man. Hey, you
11-1. 11-1. Don't dismiss me like that.
Hey, 11-1.
11-2 after this week.
Hey, do him, bad dog. Do him.
I wish.
Yes, was it, man.
Listen, if we can keep that game close, we can do what you guys did.
And I think you can. Like, here's the thing.
I just worry about our secondary.
You have to score points, though.
No, I know. I know. We've had to score points all year. We've had a hard time doing it.
You that's the thing you're gonna
have to be aggressive. We got nothing to lose. It's just pedal to the metal, man.
Hey, it's very doable. So what I was talking about before you got here was that game being such a big deal, especially for both teams, really. Mm-hmm. I saw a predictor app that we're at 66% chance to make the postseason right now. We beat y'all, it jumps to 90. We lose to you guys,
big thing.
It drops to 36. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a massive game.
We have the same record, right? We would have, it's because of the tiebreaker.
So the tie, you know, is as funny as this sounds. I know it sounds. The tie actually helps both of us.
Yeah,
because we don't have to worry about tiebreakers with Seattle or the Giants. Nobody else can have a tiebreaker but us, right? Yep. Us two. We only have to worry about us. Yep. If you finish with the same amount of wins as Seattle, you're in.
Yep.
Because you're going to have one less loss than they do. So it's as crazy as it sounds, because Seattle beat you head to head. You don't want to finish with the same record as them.
No, we don't.
Now you can't.
And I'm telling you, what that last game against Philadelphia, that really could come into play because they're not undefeated. They have nothing to play for. If we need that game to get into postseason, it's very possible they play their starters for a quarter and say sit. Now, there'd probably be nothing better Eagles would love to do than say, let's knock the Giants out. But if you're beating the Giants 20-13, say, in the third quarter, and Jalen Hurts goes down, sprains his ankle, and he's out for the playoffs, is it worth it? Then there'd be a lot to answer for. So if Philadelphia beats Dallas, which I don't think they're going to, I think Dallas is going to beat them this time.
Yeah, we're going to beat
them. I do. I just think, listen,
I think they're going.
I can't wait for that game. I know it's Christmas Eve, so it's going to be tough for me to watch it. I'm like, what? 4 o'clock on Christmas Eve? Yeah, come on, man. I'll be looking at my phone. I'll have to tape the game because I want to watch that.
Yeah,
Cowboys are playing as good as anybody in the NFL. Eagles just destroyed the Titans, who are a really good team.
Yep.
It's just going to be, that's going to be a war. That's going to be such a good game. I did say the last time they played, I said wherever they were playing, and I think I predicted this anyway. I think I picked the Eagles to win the first game because it's in Philly, and you guys win the second game because it's in Dallas.
You did predict that split. Yeah. So it's going to be a good game regardless. I just can't wait for it, man. That's a game that
I think everybody's got that one circled on the calendar.
You know what the weirdest thing is? Almost every year, like this week against Philadelphia, I'm like, I can't wait to play Philadelphia. I freaking hate Philadelphia. And I do hate Philadelphia. Okay, I hate them with a passion. But I always look forward to this game. And it's like, as weird as it is, I'm looking at that Washington game because
Of
this one
course.
really
Yeah.
it does mean something, but that
one-
Washington
that
game
one.
means everything.
Look, dude, you guys could lose that game
We're the same record.
and the
then we
same
gotta
record,
beat
and if you beat us the following week, all is forgiven.
It's like a
Everything is
2-game
fine.
lead.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like it is because
Yep.
you
We have a
can't finish
tiebreaker.
tied.
Yeah.
You own the tiebreaker. Whoever,
Yeah.
like I told the fan base yesterday, it's the biggest game we've had at FedEx Field since 2012. The season finale against Dallas, the Romo to Rob Jackson pick game.
Yeah.
You know, Robert Griffin III and Alpha Morris runs for 200 yards. Like, it's the biggest game at FedEx Field since that game. That was a win, and winner take all. Loser goes home. Winner is the division champ, and you're in. Right? This is the biggest game in Washington since that.
Yeah,
that's 10 years ago.
What I'm saying. So it's weird that like I'm normally so high, and I'm still hyped up for it because I hate them. And I'm always hyped up for a division rival, but it's just funny how it kind of went on the back burner because I just keep looking at that game against Washington.
Why you not so high on this game? You against the Eagles this weekend? Why
I think he feels like they're not going to win the game.
I just don't feel like Louie Tee said, I just don't feel like we can score enough points. Philadelphia, they can score in such a variety of ways.
The coach didn't have to score enough points. They just had to play efficient football, and they would have handed the Eagles that L.
Listen, if we can do what Washington did, we're gonna have a chance. And that's
I
really
think you guys are capable of doing that.
We have to possess the ball, we have to run the ball, and we have to turn them over. And if you're going to beat Philadelphia, and I know Jalen Hurts threw for 380, but like Louie Tee said, I'm taking my chances, squeezing his ass in the pocket, and making him beat me from there. If he's able to run, we're dead.
Yep.
And it's hard to stop him. I mean, that's the thing. It's easier said than done. Well, it's easy. Just keep him in the pocket, but it's hard to do that.
Right.
So A.J. Brown's very physical. Devontae Smith's very shifty. Miles Sanders can play. They got a great offensive line. That's a good team.
It's
hard to beat them. But if we have any chance, we're going to have to make Hurts beat us and throw it to the outside. I still don't think he can do that very well. I still don't think he throws the ball down the field very well to the sidelines. I feel like his arm is still a little weak because even the touchdown to A.J. Brown, the guy was wide open. There was nobody within 30 yards of him. The ball was underthrown. He caught it and turned and ran into the jogging into the end.
Or that other PI, the pass interference.
That was
he didn't even get in the proximity, and the official was like, "Well, I got to throw it,"
Yeah.
So, but we all know he doesn't have the biggest arm in the world.
No, and that's my thing. If he beats you from the pocket, hey, you tip your cap.
Tip your cap. That's
it's hard to keep him in
all
there.
I've ever said. And Eagles called me a hater, this, that, and the third. I'm like, look, I'm just playing the percentages.
I am a hater. I hate the Eagles.
I do, but I also, just like you just gave them credit, I give them credit, right?
Yeah.
They hear what they want to hear, but the bottom line is I'd much rather take my chances with Jalen Hurts throwing the football than him having a two-way go of it, running and then having the run dictate what kind of coverages I play, and now he's able to throw the football.
Yeah. His legs are very dangerous, but if you can force him into be in the passer, you're gonna have a better chance. I'm not saying I'm not saying we would win,
right?
But you're gonna have a better chance. Yeah. So you have to. If anybody can figure it out, it's Wink. Like you said, he did shut down Lamar Jackson. Yeah. The difference is he knows Lamar Jackson's tendencies. He knew that team's tendencies. Right. He was a defensive coordinator there. Right. He don't really know Jalen Hurts like he knew Lamar Jackson. So, I mean.
And that Eagles offense is a totally different animal and beast.
All I can say is Wink has to. I wanted him to dial it up a lot against Heineke, and
I thought he would have come. You guys came a lot early in the game, and you backed off a little bit, but then you started coming in the third quarter a little bit more. But on that final drive, the thing that I hope they took notes is that that drive where we scored in less than 2 minutes.
Yep,
we went hurry up. And it stopped you guys from getting the personnel you wanted and getting into those exotic blitzes. When you go hurry up, you're usually playing base coverage because you don't have time to set up exotics. You just got to play standard coverage, get the call to everybody so everybody can be where they're supposed to be. And we were able to take advantage of that. Yep. So I hope they see that and mix that in. And I'm not telling you to strictly go hurry, but have that be a ploy that you use at times during the
I've
course
said that for us. I like when the Giants go up tempo. I think it's better for us when we go up tempo. But
you know what's the problem with teams like us? We're scared to go up tempo because that's not our identity.
That's same thing. We're the same team. We want to possess the ball. We want to keep the other team off the field.
Yep.
We want to use Saquon Barkley. That's what we want to do.
That's right.
And not turn the ball over. But You're gonna have to open it up against Philadelphia. I'm sorry. Against Washington is a different story. Like I said, we're built exactly the same. Washington's not putting up 45. Heineke's not dropping back there throwing for 400 yards. Daniel Jones ain't dropping back there for 400 yards. These are two smash mouth old school football teams. It's why the game got me hyped up. It's why I'm hyped up for 2 weeks. It's like when I was growing up, because I'm older than you guys, CBS, 4 o'clock, Madden Summerall, NFC, Washington, like that was the thing.
Yeah.
Because in the middle 80s, Dallas started to fall off a little bit. Philadelphia was pretty good, but Washington and the Giants are the two best.
Washington, the Hogs and all of those, yeah.
So those are always big, Jay Schrader and Doug Williams and Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor and Dexter Manley and Charles Mann and Darrell Green and all, Carl Banks and all that stuff. So
I love Marshall.
I love that Washington and the Giants are going to be playing meaningful games against each other in December. It's been a long time.
It has.
It's going to be a good closing. Yeah.
I've said this. And I think me and Bad Dog were definitely out in front of this, but we were the loudest. I think everybody kind of felt that way. Maybe. I don't know if LB felt that way necessarily. But I think because Bad Dog and I have such nostalgia for yesteryear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we were clamoring. We were yearning for this division. I know I was. I just want this. Before you got here, I said, I think it was right when you got here because I got excited when I saw you.
Yeah.
This is what you want. December, we get flexed into Sunday night.
Yep.
Because it's that important of a game. And you go a week or two later and it's Philly and Dallas. That's all anybody will be talking about. It's the NFC East and it matters again.
It does.
Like what more could you ask for, man? And
more, I could ask for more. All of us making the playoffs.
I would love it to happen.
That would be nice.
I just again.
Yeah, Seattle is an easy schedule.
Seattle, I just don't see how they don't make the playoffs.
I don't either.
But we'll see. Tony P56, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, when Commanders clinch the playoffs, I would hate for Dallas to rest their starters week 18, then have to play them in the wild card with rested starters. Well, we wouldn't if Dallas, unless Dallas wins the division. Yeah, we wouldn't be playing them in the playoffs because they're a wild card just like us. So
yeah, they'd be playing.
They would be playing a division winner.
Division winner,
right? Right. So we wouldn't.
You guys would be playing the NFC South.
And all we need is the Giants do us a favor this weekend, right? And
we're gonna do our damnedest.
Yeah, you do us a favor. And then if we just win our game against the Eagles and do everything else, we'll win this division, right? Because we would have the better division record, right? Because we swept the Giants already, right? It'll fall down to that last game against Washington.
Yeah.
So right now, the Eagles really haven't played any division games. They've only played 3. They're 2-1. They lost to us. They beat us once, and they beat you guys. They haven't played the Giants at all. This will be their first game, and then they got you one more time. So they really haven't tasted NFC East football.
And that's lost twice in you, and we're tasting it right now.
Yeah. And
so it can all be fool's gold, believe it or not. And it can go back to what Jimmy Johnson said. When you play a team twice.
I love that post by you, by the way. Jimmy Johnson
appreciate
post.
it. Appreciate
I loved it. I wish I could share it 1,000,000 times. I bet you LB didn't see it. He needed to see that shit and hear it. You should have played that shit for him.
Oh my God. I forgot all about putting that back on him. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. But go ahead and finish that. What you were about to say?
No. I'm just saying that my Cowboys just got to take care of business, But I just need the Giants to do me a huge favor this weekend. That's all.
I want to do you that favor. Trust me. Nothing would make me. Listen, we were 4-13 last year. The highlight of the last 5 years for me was beating Philadelphia and making Philly 500 wear a Giants jersey. Now, I know he proposed a bet to me. I told him I'm not betting you. There's no way. The Giants are like what? Probably a 9-point dog in this game. If I was going to bet, I just thought the Giants are going to win. I'd go and bet on the money line. I've never understood why people do that online. I bet you $50. Really, that's fantastic. I'm a 10-point underdog. If I'm betting $50, you're giving me odds.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ain't stupid. Right. I'll just go to a betting app or go to a casino or whatever. Give me the money.
I'll lay down that same 50 bucks.
Plus 220 on it. Yeah.
All right. Rudy Trujillo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, did you predict the loss? These are such, so old. I don't know exactly who you're referring to. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, more like 8-ball Brunson, guess a 50-50 answer. The thing you can always count on with Brunson, and he's consistent, and I love him for this, is he's always going to ride with his dudes, no matter what. Wrong as hell, right as hell, he's riding with his guys. I can give him that.
Because he said N'Kobe Dean he said N'Kobe Dean will be better than Parsons. So that's just how.
Of course, I mean. I can't sit here and act like I haven't said crazy shit. I've said crazy shit before.
We all have.
Yeah, we all have. I'm guilty. I can't speak for anybody else.
I said Daniel Jones is going to be better than Dak Prescott. What can I tell you?
I said Antonio Gibson was the second. I said he could be the second best running back in the division. Clearly.
That second best running back in the team.
Exactly. He's that. He's absolutely.
Which I'll tell you what, I love that Brian Robinson kid.
How can you not?
Just the way he runs, like I'm a fan. I love those guys that you hit him once, you hit him, he ain't going down. I'm like, man, that dude got shot. You think a guy tackling him is taking him down? Hell no. That's my kind of football.
Man.
That's my, when they had the All Madden team, when he would do the All Madden. That's the type of player that gets to the All Madden.
Yeah. He definitely would have been in consideration for that for sure. Gay Baby, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, what y'all think about OBJ possibly going to them boys? I wanted to ask Law about that, but I figured someone would ask in the comment section, so I waited, and there it is. What do you think? Is that I saw your boys Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons taking them out to the Mavericks game the other night, wooing them, whining and dining them, putting on the full court press.
Right.
What do you think is going to ultimately happen? I've heard he won't be ready until January. And another thing is he wants a long-term contract for a dude that's been major knee surgery twice in 4 years, and you haven't seen him, and he can't run. Obviously, he's not working out for any of these teams, and he wants a long-term deal. I don't know about this.
You don't need him.
My whole stance on Odell was like, hey, bring him in to see, make sure everything crosses, T's and dot I's. But by him not working out and doing anything like plyometrics, calisthenics to make sure that he can bounce off of that knee, force off of that knee, or power off of that leg, it leaves so much ambiguity that I think that the Jones family, they will flirt with the ideal, still push this ideal down the road to create the viewership for content creations. But outside of that, I don't think that they will put the ink to paper. So that's just what it is. They didn't pay. Look, nobody campaigned for Amari Cooper like they did for Odell Beckham. So what this ultimately revealed to me, that the Cowboys, not just the front office, but I believe the players themselves didn't care that much for Amari Cooper.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you, you know who loves this? Odell Beckham. He loves the attention. This guy is eating the attention up.
He's loving it.
I said this. So many Giants fans like, we need Odell Beckham. Like, why? I mean, the guy's 30, 2 torn ACLs in the last 4 years, wants a major deal. We have no cap space. Why wouldn't we just draft a wide receiver out of college, and take our chance with a 21-year-old guy that's got 2 healthy knees and he's 21 and he's on a rookie contract. You know what I mean? The kid, the Quentin Johnson out of TCU, I love him, right? Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma, I love him. Jalen Hyatt out of Jahan Dotson's your guy. Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. Mario Addison. There's a Jordan Addison, Mario Williams. There's a bunch of wide receivers that are really good. This is a deep wide receiver class. We don't need Odell Beckham. I understand a lot of Giants fans are younger and they don't remember us being good. I get it. And the only thing that they grew up with that was good was Odell Beckham. But he's not that guy anymore. He's not the guy that's taking a 7-yard slant 75 yards at a house. That's not there anymore. So to give him money, especially when you don't know what the hell you got and you're rebuilding for the future, is Odell Beckham part of your future? The Rams are set up for a Super Bowl. Made sense. We're not set up for that. Odell Beckham's not going to make that much of a difference. Or now all of a sudden we're Super Bowl contenders. The only reason the Cowboys, to me, have a chance of signing him is just because Jerry Jones might just go, I want to stick it to the Giants. And what better way to stick it to the Giants? Even if you don't do anything, I just want to stick it to the Giants because I'm Jerry Jones and I'm going to bring in Odell Beckham just to piss off the New York media. That's something I could see happening. And by all means, give him 3 years.
So who you said you want? You wanted the Josh Down kid from North Carolina or Zay Flowers?
For what?
Next year, like drafting, like wide receiver.
I like the kid Quentin Johnston from
TCU.
TCU. Okay.
I like him a lot.
I
like him a lot. Marvin Mims, Oklahoma. He's another good one. There's a lot of good ones. Hyatt from Tennessee.
I think Hyatt's going back to school though.
He could.
I think he's going back.
But I really like Johnston from TCU.
Look up Jonathan Mingo from Mississippi.
There's a couple really good ones from Ohio State too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good receivers.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. Yeah, it's a lot of those.
Cedric Tillman,
Rudy Trujillo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes? I'll bet LB $500 we make it to the playoffs. LB said earlier that we would not make the playoffs. The Commanders would not make the playoffs. And you know something else that he said? Quez Watkins is better than he'd take Quez Watkins over Jahan Dotson. That's what he said.
Yeah, that Jahan Dotson.
I would take Quez Watkins over Richie James. Or David Sills or whoever we're throwing to these days. Whoever Home Depot guy we're throwing to these days.
You had Isaiah Hodgins.
He's not bad.
I liked him a lot coming out of Oregon State.
Seriously, when he catches it, I mean, it's just I don't want to have to say this drops are in his head, man. 15.6% drop rate. That's insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you got to help him too. Like that was.
Listen, I'm not. Listen, that was on both parties. Okay, yeah. I'm not sitting there saying Daniel Jones threw a perfect pass. But my God, you're a wide receiver in the NFL. You got to help your quarterback out sometimes. Quarterback has to help the receiver out sometimes, but you got to catch that ball. You got to come down with that.
Yeah.
Got to come down with that. Like I said, AJ Brown catches it, CeeDee Lamb catches it, Terry McLaurin catches it.
Yeah, but he's not a number one though. I mean,
even number three can catch that. That wasn't like he had to reach out with one hand or something crazy. Like
I'm telling you, man, he stretched his frame out.
I know, but it hit him right in the hands.
It did.
Bring it into your chest.
I'm not disputing any. It reminded me.
He underthrew him.
It reminded me of the throw in week 2 last year where I thought it was a slight overthrow in the end zone. You remember that one? Did he drop?
Of course I do. He should have caught that.
And he should have caught it, but it wasn't a great throw. This guy doesn't have great hands. Don't make it hard on him. Okay.
I don't think he's trying to.
I know he's not. Of course he's not. He wants to make a perfect pass, but I'm just saying.
Listen, nobody's going to sit here and tell you Daniel Jones is the greatest quarterback ever, but it would be nice for him to get some kind of help. Some kind of help. You don't have any help. Listen, the game's on the line. Winning teams, I don't care who it is. David Tyree made it. What was David Tyree? What number receiver was he for? I'm not comparing it to, but I'm just saying the game's on the line. Tyree's up here doing one of these and dropping it. That was good times. This was a long time ago.
It was.
It was a long time.
I always have to tell my fans, like, we got to stop going down. We got to create new memories. I'm tired of talking about the old shit.
We're going to create 2 weeks, Louie. One of our teams is going to create a memory.
You're damn right.
Let's retire again. Imagine that.
Stop saying that. You said that in your video. I watched your video and you said, wouldn't that be crazy if we tied again? No, it wouldn't be crazy. Stop saying that. I don't want to be
funny. That'd be the, remember that year that both of us, the last time the Giants tied was against Washington in 97.
97 with Gus Frerotte game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Gus Frerotte ran his head into the wall, concussed himself. I think Michael Westbrook took his helmet. You guys are in field goal range. Michael Westbrook took his helmet off, got a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah. Don't remind me.
Giants fans, we went to the playoffs that year. So I'm just saying.
No doubt.
Just saying.
Thomas Carter, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, are we really talking about Quez Watkins, the guy who fumbled the ball? Really? In a big game, no doubt. Come on, man. Like I said, Quez Watkins, he's a solid receiver. Don't get me wrong. He's just a guy. It's just a guy.
He is just a guy.
Confused luck. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MLBB. Who writes, meth is free in Philly. Please excuse baby Trent. I cannot. You're not gonna. I can't let you do that to LB though. Not especially with him not being here.
Right.
To defend himself. Right. I can't let you do that.
I gotta go Law Nation style.
Oh, put him on. That's right.
Yeah.
Let him know what's good.
There you go.
Confused luck. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, if you ever see LB crossing the street, floor it. Nah, that's my guy, man.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
LB's our guy, man.
Yeah.
We love LB. LB's definitely one of my favorites.
If everybody else going with him, I'm gonna go with mine too, man.
There you go.
Okay,
We gonna complete the cipher now.
There you go.
All right. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, this just in, Philadelphia H2O causes ADD.
Yeah.
I should have been reading these while LB was here, man. Oh man, he would have got mad and said, "But y'all in last place." He would have said something like that. I can play.
He'd been 11-1 though. 11.
Yeah, I'm 11-1. Yeah,
11-1.
Big money.
He ain't lying.
He not. He ain't. But I always remind him who you get the one from. That's all I ever tell him. Make sure you understand that.
Listen, I know what it's like to hand a team that's only lost a year.
That's right.
Fun. Biggest stage there was.
That's right. Big money, Sonny. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, "We making the playoffs, and I want Okay, told you about that. Pause. Y'all ain't beating us. Real talk. Law's squad is mad scary. Salutes to the panel, but get the F out of here. Cherry squad, baby. I'm telling you right now, I've been so impressed with what Dallas has done, especially the game against Minnesota. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I knew you were going to go there and win because you always beat Minnesota. You own them, especially in Minnesota. You went there and won with Andy Dalton a couple of years ago. Like, you go to Minnesota and win. I just didn't expect you to do it in the fashion that you ultimately did.
Dallas. Man, they got the same thing. They got an incredible running back combination. I really like Tony Pollard. And you guys know
they killed me. They killed me. I wish you was here to help me. They killed me. I told him Zeke is old. He looks old. He's still effective, but he looks old. Yeah, Pollard is the one that scares me.
Yeah. Zeke is the guy that's going to wear you down. Pollard's the one that's going to take it to the house.
There we go.
That's what it is. But Tony Pollard is really good.
But them weeks where
Zeke I told you guys when he was a rookie, I told you CeeDee Lamb was going to be a star.
We all saw that. CeeDee Lamb was one of my favorite receivers. I think, if not my favorite receiver in that draft. Yeah, a lot of people wanted to talk about his lack of speed, but I can't stand Chris.
You don't need speed to be a great wide receiver.
You don't.
It helps. You need hands and catch radius. Route running. Route running is important.
That dude broke more tackles than I think I've ever seen a college receiver break in my life.
Crazy.
He was good.
Confused Luck. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, clapping LB cheeks.
Pause.
Again, pause.
By the way,
I have to do that with him all the time.
Big Money Sonny's a Yankee fan, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
I wonder how Big Money Sonny's feeling about spending big money on Aaron Judge.
He put y'all in a position, a no-win position. You had to.
Now we got to go out and get Carlos Rodon, Sonny, not to turn us into a baseball stream. And then we got to go out and trade for Brian Reynolds. So that's what we got to do.
Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Rice. LB likes to get his. See, I can't see. No balls. I can't with you, man. I cannot. George Burwell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. If you're wondering, we second in sacks with 42. I don't doubt that the Eagles are second in sacks. Again, I've said this. If you take away, and you can't do this, and I hate when people say this, so I shouldn't even say it myself. But our offensive line was in shambles. You guys took full advantage of that, like you're supposed to. But you take that game away. Are you still second in the league in sacks? You had 9 sacks in that game.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Like,
I think the Cowboys had like 9 sacks on Joe Burrow too, which was crazy.
But they do that on a regular.
No, I know.
5 and 6 sacks. Like Michael Parsons.
I'm watching.
How many games does Michael Parsons have?
DeMarcus Lawrence just owned Evan Neal.
He had 3 sacks on that Monday night.
Yep. Yeah. You know what was going on.
I think I saw a crazy stat like Michael Parsons has like 5 or 6 games with 2 sacks or more, and like that's crazy talk.
He's good. I wanted the Giants. I didn't care about Devontae Smith, man. I wanted the Giants to draft Michael Parsons. I'm a defensive guy, so I was like, get him.
Destro 9 DT 95. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Louie smoking on a top pack tonight. We won his Super Bowl when they beat us. Commodes finito. Did you start the commodes thing? You were the first person I heard say that.
Law Nation did.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you.
Yeah,
Did you start that foolishness?
Yeah. I started it, man. It was a whole meme out there. I got it somewhere on my Instagram page.
Lord,
ever
makes
since
perfect
and
sense.
the Commodores.
But it does make sense. I mean, you drop commode juice all over the fans in
the
you know.
Jay Versick, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate your rights. Cowboys got the best tight end group in the NFC East. I can't argue with that.
14 personnel, man. Yeah. Who's running 14 personnel?
Nobody.
Nobody,
because nobody has 4 really good tight ends. Right. Like, it's only one of your guys that you really don't want to throw the football to, but I don't know of teams that have 3 dudes. I got 3 dudes that you feel really comfortable. I loved Peyton Hendershot coming out of Indiana.
Oh yeah,
just real quiet, not a super athlete, none of that. And when did y'all get him? Was he undrafted?
Yeah, he was undrafted.
Yeah,
his yards were very comparable to Jake Ferguson. I think he averaged more like yards per catch than Jake Ferguson. Mm-hmm. So he just got into trouble, you know.
That off the field?
Yeah, off the field thing. You know,
that's probably what it was because he was talented to me.
Yeah,
he didn't have his senior year wasn't the best. But
no, it wasn't. Yeah,
and I thought that pulled his draft stock down. But
yeah, the coaching staff kind of benched him because of that trouble. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean.
Interesting. I didn't know that about him. I didn't know his background. Yeah. Derek, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, if your Super Bowl highlights are on VHS and ours are on Blu-ray, please stop talking. Laugh my ass off. Fly.
No, it's on YouTube now, man. It's on YouTube now.
Hey, LB would have had a field day with that one.
Yeah, it's on YouTube now.
Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, salutes to Condo P, the real evangelist of our community. Y'all aren't blessed like this. Cherry Squad, stay clapping all y'all cheats. Pause. I got to pause on behalf of them. There's a lot of that goes on my channel. So I have to excuse us. There's a lot of that goes on our channel. Luck be getting all of y'all. I'm going to just leave that one alone. Joaquin Williams, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. We got another super chat here from Soto Rico. Thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, AJ has 9 touchdowns. CD and Terry have 9 combined. That's his thing. It's touchdowns. Terry has never been a big touchdown guy. That's always been the one thing. If you ever wanted to point to a fault of Terry McLaurin throughout his career, Terry is joining an exclusive club this year. There are like 5 receivers in NFL history that have started their careers with, I think it was like 5 or 7, something like that, with over 900 yards and in their first 4 seasons.
Right.
And he's already eclipsed that this year. And the touchdowns has always been a thing. Right. I think he had 1 season where he had 3. His best is 7. So he's never been a high touchdown guy. And I think a lot of that is a byproduct of the quarterbacks throwing on the football. You know,
it could be.
And it also is a byproduct of the way you call your offense, too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dallas likes running the ball. I mean, inside the 10, they ain't going to see
the best red zone offenses can run it in the red zone.
Exactly.
Right,
you know?
right.
You know,
a lot of AJ's touchdowns, you know, surprisingly enough, because you think of him big target, physical, probably, you know, be an easy back shoulder fade guy. A lot of his have been deep balls, you know?
Yeah, one-on-one opportunity, yeah.
Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Right. Bad Dog, double up. Salutes to that brother. Yeah, that's
my guy, Sonny.
Hey, no doubt.
Massive Yankees fans. We talk trash about the Yankees all.
Yeah, my guy, Sonny. He swings over to my stream sometimes. Like, my man.
A lot of our fans watch all of your channels because a lot of the stuff they come back and tell me what y'all are talking about.
Yeah.
Ness Coney.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I know we're not having a debate about who the best receiver is in the division. It's AJ Brown. Any other answer is pure emotion.
I'm not emotionally invested in any of them. I just think it's
CD Lamb.
I guess I'm but
yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's really just preference, and everybody's gonna prefer their guy,
right?
And that's what it all boils down to is I take my guy for various reasons. You're going to take your guy for various reasons. And Law's going to take his guy for various.
I mean, you can literally break it down to like who got the better hands. You can say, okay, then Terry, right? And then you can say, okay, who's more physical? Then you can say AJ. But then you can say, okay, let's mix both together. Then you can say CD Lamb. So it's just so many ways, so many angles that you can like
CD Lamb's
ceiling.
CD catch radius is ridiculous.
Catch radius, yeah.
His catch radius is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, so
he's really good.
I mean, all of these guys, I think I misquoted the stats earlier. Yeah, so it is AJ with the most yards, and then your boy Terry, and then CD.
It's like 950, 945, and like 923. They're all in the same range. They're all
all the same range. Right.
Big T, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, is Jalen Hurts still, I quote, cheeks? Because we still got them receipts. Pretty sure these QBs who cheeks have pretty great shot at being MVP. I've already given him my 00 for him. Okay. I was wrong. I've already surrendered. My hands are up. You got me. I don't know what more y'all want from me. I put my hands up the last time we did this in week 7. I put my hands up. I said you got me. So he's way better than I ever thought he could be.
Is that more of like an East Coast like terminology, like cheeks? Because
hey, look, man, I can't speak to that. I have no idea.
Because every time I think of cheeks, the best anatomy on a lady is the cheeks to me. I'm a cheeks guy. So every time y'all thinking cheeks, I'm not thinking dude. I'm thinking like every time y'all saying cheeks, it just messing my mind up right now. Like he's cheeks. All I can think of like the anatomy of a woman, a voluptuous, soft, roundness of a woman, but y'all use it in the connotation of it's just weird to me. A Southern guy like me,
they used to stay her with all those curves, maybe no breaks. That's the way that used to be.
Hey, look, man.
Can y'all use another terminology? Y'all spoiling it. Y'all
how about buns?
Not even buns.
I just use trash. That was always my
trash.
The vernacular has changed. What you gotta understand is the young boys have changed the vernacular.
Yeah.
Shit that used to mean something else means something totally different now. Yeah. So I just go with the flow.
Yeah, like a hashtag. I remember when that was a pound sign.
Pound sign. Everything. I mean, when something was cold, it wasn't. If something could be cold, it can be good or bad, right?
Yeah.
Something can be hot. It can be good or bad. Normally you hear fire that is good, right?
It's fire. Yeah, fire.
Cold used to be, it was bad. Now cold is good or bad. It just depending on how you use it. It's whatever,
okay.
man.
But see, back in my day, now it used to be no homo. I guess that's now not the term. Now it's pause.
Because homo isn't politically correct.
It's political. Oh, it's not PC anymore to say that. So okay, y'all educate me. It's pause.
And I do know this. I love when the younger viewers hear me say no cap. They like when I
love that. They love that. That means no cap. You're hip.
Nah, I'm definitely not. Yeah, hip. I'm with it. Yeah, I'm dope. Yeah.
Oh, stop, man. No, stop.
That's dope.
Dope, man. Stop. Now you show man. You see that girl?
You see that girl? She's fly.
She's fly. Who gonna bring Job Turkey back now?
Right? That's even before my time.
I'm gonna stop right there. We're not going no further than that. I will read the next comment.
Please don't say cheeks, y'all. Come on, man.
You gonna get it, and with our fan base, because you just said that, you will get it 50 million times now. Like you have to do the inverse. Okay. You saying that means you want more of it.
No. Wait a minute.
Big Money Sunny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. She says, again, all y'all show love to the evangelist, Condo P, holding us down. Our sis Condo P. Lou will co-sign on that. Absolutely. I know all of y'all have mods that are like above and beyond. That's Condo P for me. Always reps the squad. Where y'all communities at? Oh, they've been here.
My guy's an entire Giants fan. He's in the chat.
Yeah, I've seen him. Trust me.
That's my guy.
I've been seeing him.
That is. my mods. I would say my mods are the best. I don't have a lot of mods.
I don't either, but the ones I have,
I'm a Giants fan. LA Lou, Dominic Pope. I mean, these guys, they're always Afghanistan. Afghanistan is probably in the chat too. These guys are always holding it down for me. But yeah, dire Giants fans probably my.
Tony P56, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Lou, Vikes was before Eagles, no losses since Vikes. Oh, you're right. That game was the week before the Eagles. That's right, because we were riding a 3-game win streak going into that game, lost to the Vikings, and then we started a new win streak. That was the one loss in the 6 out of 7. So you're right. We hadn't lost. We just tied, obviously. But we beat the Eagles, then we beat the Texans, then we beat the Falcons, and then we tied the Giants. You're right.
Yeah, so no losses since. Yeah,
you're right.
I'm telling that momentum. I think I know a little something, Dan. You know.
Yeah. You hit it right on the head. So Ninja X, stand up. You officially in the building as the newest member of the MOBB. Welcome to the squad. Y'all know what to do. Show So Ninja X some love and welcome him to the squad. Glad to have you. Looking forward to chopping it up with you. The great Watubi. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB rights. Thanks to all. Always enjoy these chats, man. These guys are the absolute best. Shout out to my guy Bad Dog for coming on after his Laker dog stream and rolling up and blessing us with his presence.
No, I gotta be honest.
My Lakers win. My Lakers won, baby.
No, they were getting destroyed. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to end this. I didn't feel, like I said, I didn't really feel good. And I was like, I was just like, I got to end this now. Like, I wasn't feeling good. I still don't feel really good. But I was like, there's no way I'm not coming on here.
No, man.
There's no way I wasn't coming on here.
I told them at the beginning, I said, I extended the invite. I hope he has time. I told him we'd be here till 11. We got 10 minutes left. I said, I'm hoping he'll slide in here and bless
I ended at halftime, went up, took a shower, made me feel a little bit better. And I was like, all right, I'm like, you know what? I'm hopping on. This is one of the best things I ever did in my life.
Yes. You were the creator of this.
That was it.
This is your baby.
This is my baby.
Yes. I've just adopted it and taken care of it.
It's all good. But this was definitely the best thing I've done on YouTube.
Boss 215 Trizzy. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, this whole division is the Eagles' son. No cap. Except for us. And we'll see, because they played the Giants twice and they got the Cowboys. And I think most of us, and this means nothing, absolutely nothing. But I think most of us, if you went around the panel, we think the Cowboys are going to win that game. Of course, LB wouldn't, but I think all three of us.
I did pick the Cowboys to win because they were at home. I did that.
I mean, we can go back and look at the sheet. I'm pretty sure all of us picked Dallas except for LB on that.
I did pick the Eagles to win this division.
You did. I did not.
But I didn't think they'd be 11-1 either.
I didn't think Jalen Hurts would be this good. I still had them at 9 I still had them at 9 and 8, even with him being what I thought would be mid.
I think I had them at 11-6. I didn't have this division being as good.
I had the division being good because I had us at 12-5. I had Dallas at 12-5, and you were the only team that I don't think I had being very good. I
had us at 7-10. I don't remember where I had you guys. I think I had you guys at 7-10 too.
Either that or 6-11. You had us not good. I know.
But
that.
I didn't think either one of us would be where we are.
I did. I thought we could because, and I've said this because of the schedule. That's what everybody. I said this before the season started. We played 2 of the worst divisions in football. If we can't eat off of those divisions this year, we'll never do it.
We did off the AFC South. We killed them.
I mean, everybody pretty much did.
No, that's what I'm saying. But this division destroyed the AFC South.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
14-1 or something.
I know we lost to Tennessee.
Yeah.
But we beat.
I think that might be the only loss in it. Like I think we beat everybody else up. For me, it was more. There was just a lot of question marks. We don't have a lot of talent on this team, and I didn't know what Brian Dable was going to be. I thought we'd be better because of the schedule. That's why I gave us 7 wins. But this division, I probably had us losing 5 games in this division.
So you make me feel so bad. That's right. That is the only loss.
Yeah.
And we had Tennessee. That's the part. We were at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal from the 2 with 20, with 19 seconds, but we didn't have timeout.
Yep.
Oh my God. That is the only loss because Dallas hasn't played anybody yet. They played one team.
Yeah, they get them now.
We get them now. We get good stuff
they're
now.
Gonna clean up, right? Like
clean up
They got the Colts, then they got the Texans this week.
Yeah.
Then they get the Jags, then they get the Eagles, and then they get the dang on Titans.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So he. But out of that bunch, it may be the Titans that could be the only,
I will tell you, be careful in Jacksonville. Be careful. Giants found that out the hard way.
Right.
They're scary at home. When you get them on the road, they're garbage. But when they're at home, if they're going to upset somebody, it's going to be at home. They haven't beaten an NFC team on the road in like 7 years, 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
But at home, they can beat anybody. That's happened to Baltimore. It almost happened to the Giants. Be careful. I'm just telling you. You go there, they got swimming pools and shit in the crowd, and you just kind of fall asleep for a second. You wake up, it's fourth quarter, and it's a 6-point ball game. You're like, what the hell happened? Be careful.
Yeah.
Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Law is straight Bama. But Bad Dog is super cool. You already know. LB looks like a really. Salutes to all of y'all.
Roll Tide.
LB takes nothing but shots, son.
all the time. And it's the same thing with his fan base with me. They can't stand me. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm almost like a WWE heel, right? Like I just eat that shit up.
Yep. Yeah.
John Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, good to see y'all, fellas. I went to the Washington G-Men game on Sunday, and even though I'm mad we tied, it was cold as balls. That was a playoff atmosphere. Watching it on TV, I got goosebumps. There was a possession where we were backed up, and I saw guys, hitting the stanchion, and they're making all kinds of noise. It's so loud, and we converted, and everybody got quiet.
Yeah,
I said, "Oh, that is a great feeling." On the road. When you quiet the crowd like that, that's what happened when Heineken converted that fourth and four.
Yeah, the crowd's lit up, they're going insane, and then you make a play, and it's just 70,000 people collectively
sit down and be quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
after one expletive, and then it's usually what happens there.
Confused Luck, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Right, salutes to Lou for letting the mentally challenged get some love. It's been a couple of them tonight. It's been a couple. Really good of you, Lou, to help these bums get views because Lord knows they won and done. Somebody tried me earlier. Spence Collie, I had to check them quick. Spence Collies, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, we are just one big dysfunctional family, NFC East, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We can't stand one another, but this is what we wanted, though, right?
Right.
We want the success of the division. At the same time, we want the destruction of every team in the division. You can't have it both ways, but we wanted meaningful games for everyone this time of the year.
Probably the first stream we did this year, we probably talked about bringing the NFC East back to prominence.
We talked about it and wanting this exact moment to be where it is right now and having us have an opportunity to play these types of games in December, right? Yes. Into January. And I don't think any of us have like this mindset of, we just want to, like, I normally just want to make it to the playoffs. I think I can do damage when I get there. I know it's crazy because Heineke's our quarterback and it's tough to win this time of the year, but there are two things. And I saw Ryan Tannehill do this with Tennessee 2 years ago. Defense and a run game travels this time of the year.
Yep.
And what you're seeing in the NFL with scoring down, not for some teams like Dallas and Miami and Kansas City, but for the rest of us mortals, scoring is down.
Right.
Passing yards are down.
Right.
Rushing yards are up.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of went back a little old school type of football.
It's everything.
But I'm with you.
Everything's
I say it all the time. If anybody knows about having a mediocre regular season and getting in the playoffs and then getting hot, should be Giants fans.
Yeah.
Last 2 times we won a Super Bowl, that's exactly what happened. So let's just get there. I want to get there and take our chances.
It's different though, because you had Eli Manning.
Yeah,
it's different.
It is different.
You had Daniel Jones.
That's true.
Eli.
But again, just get me there. Let me take my chances.
And that's all. That's all I ever asked for. When they shut the door and they lock it, I just want to be inside with a seat at the table.
Because where are we? We're 5th right now, so we'd play what the.
No, you play you're 4th. You're 6th.
Because we're 6th. Okay, so who we play?
You would play the 49ers right now.
We play the 49ers
because the Eagles are 1. They'd have a bye. The Vikings are 2. They would play the Seahawks right now. They're the 7 seed. 3 seed is the 49ers. You'll be playing them. You're 6. And Dallas would be going to Tampa 4 and 5.
That's rough. That's a rough one. That's tough. San Francisco's tough. In San Francisco, that'd be tough.
But they now have
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy from Iowa State quarterback. So
Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, they got that changes some things. The great Watubi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, did Lord Brunson buy the Eagles Christmas? That would have been a great question to ask him. Yeah. I wonder, did he buy that album? He probably didn't, but it would have been interesting to know if he did or didn't.
LB can make his own Christmas album.
He can. Yeah. I'd listen to it.
Yeah.
JP, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, did y'all see that nasty Dotson spin move? That boy's going to be special. Hated that he missed a ton of time, though. Otherwise, he'd be in the offensive rookie of the year race.
Yeah, I saw it.
I know you saw it, Bad Dog. I know you saw it. Of course you did.
I saw it.
Mayo Heyo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, the One Piece is real. Let's go, Cowboys. All right.
Go with
Cowboys
it. Let's go.
There.
Go with it.
Saucy Zay writes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, how do y'all feel about the media's flip-flop over Philly and Dallas wins over the Colts?
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's just what it is. You know, the media is going to figure out ways to just do media things. And
absolutely. And, you know, so obviously one is a 30 some odd point explosion in the fourth quarter and a blowout victory. And the other was the Eagles literally coming back from behind and barely winning the game.
Yeah, 4th and 2. Yeah,
it's a totally different scenario. I mean, a win's a win. I always tell people, it's funny because we make so much out of how teams win in the moment. 3 weeks from now, is anybody turning that brick over and looking at it and analyzing
no style points in the NFL?
This ain't college. I always tell people this all the time. This ain't college. You don't get style points. You just get a win or a loss.
Exactly.
Or in the case of the Giants and Commanders, you get a tie.
Once every 25 years, you get a tie, Giants fans.
Well, we had one more recently, 2016. We had one. So, Rebel 95. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, I'm just a guy from Law Nation. Lou, y'all sweeping the Eagles. Brunson, we got something for y'all Christmas and playoffs. Bad Dog, you the man.
But Rebel, how can I be the man when you the man?
Yeah.
Wish we could have swept them. We only played them once, but if we see them again, I think we could beat them again. I do feel that way. I want it, but obviously, it only happened if we won a playoff game. So we have incentive to get there. We gotta first get to the playoffs, then we gotta win a game when we get in there to get to the Eagles. So I'd love nothing more than to go back to the link for a playoff game. James Lindsay, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Law and LB need to talk more than the Redskin fan. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. Austin C. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Eagles are the only team to rush and pass for 350 in the same game or same season since 1987. Respect. The most versatile in the league, Louie. I'm not debating that. That Packers performance was utterly ridiculous. Yeah. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Where your quarterback is your leading rusher. He's got 160 some odd yards. Your running back goes over 100 yards. And then collectively, the next 3 guys under them have, almost 100 yards. It's insane. It's insane.
Shout out to them.
Or as Dak would say,
credit to them.
Credit to them.
Mm-hmm.
Credit to them. Darius 1224. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. How proud would the division be when Hurts wins the MVP? It's been a long time since the division had one. We're not rooting for that.
I mean, when the last quarterback to win the MVP won a Super Bowl in the regular season?
That's a great question.
I mean,
maybe did Mahomes do it?
Nope.
Or did he not win it that year?
I don't think he did it. So if they wanted Peyton Manning, he was the last one. Not even him. I don't even know. Yeah. So I don't think it ever happened. So
I'm not rooting for the shit.
I'm not.
This ain't that ain't one of those division appreciation things that I'm looking forward to. Oh, we got an MVP. No, we're not sharing in that.
Right. They said Kurt Warner was the last person over here.
Damn, that's a long time.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that long.
It's 2000.
Yeah. We both 702. Lord B, why are you so happy when you barely beat us with a back? When he's talking about Dallas, barely beating Dallas with a backup. Man, I can't wait for that game.
Oh man, that's the game we all got circled, man.
Yep.
It's 11 o'clock. So these fellas gotta hit the pavement. I really truly appreciate y'all doing this, man. Every time we link, it's always magical. I can't wait till we do it again. We'll have to do this, especially whether we all make it or not. We'll do this again right before the postseason gets underway to preview the postseason, talk about the journey, whether we made it or just missed it or whatever the case may be. We'll all come back. LB already said we're not making it, which means he thinks the Giants are going to make it. We'll see if all 4 of us do, if 3 out of 4 of us do, but whatever the case may be, I appreciate y'all always posting, man. Thank you so much for doing this. You guys are the absolute best. You guys know where you can find their work. If not, all of their links are down in the description of this video. Fellas, you guys have a good one. And best of luck to you the rest of the season, except for if you see my team coming.
No doubt, man. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Yep.
Salute.
No doubt.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate you guys. Be good. We'll see you soon.
See you in a week.
Yeah.
Bart Scott.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Me neither.
All right. So that just leaves just little old me. And if you got a super chat that you had for the panel or somebody specifically on the panel, now it feels funny without the glasses on, so I got to put them back on now. If you have a comment that was geared towards, I apologize. You know how it is when you get a panel, everybody's talking and we just get in. You know how it is. We shoot the shit, we start talking, and time flies by. But I'll get to the rest of them, whether they're directed at me or not. No super chat goes unread. You guys know that. So we forage on here on the Louie Tee Network. Darius 1224. We just read that super chat. Appreciate you. I'm not rooting for Hurts to win the MVP, but if he does, I tip my cap to him. He's had a fantastic season. He is definitely in the discussion. I still think it's Patrick Mahomes, but I tell you what, if the Eagles go 14-3 or 15-2 or 16-1, and he continues to play like he's been playing this season, I don't see how you can deny him. The only way that you're able to do that is if Mahomes continues to play at a ridiculous pace. They end up with the #1 seed, and somehow the Eagles, start to falter a bit. Then it's Mahomes' trophy. But with the Eagles having the best record, with Hurts being a huge part of the reason why they have the best record, it's going to be tough to see him not get the trophy, honestly. Jeremy Alicia, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, "Hey, Law, we need Philly to lose one more before we play them." I mean, that's why they honestly, if the Eagles don't lose to the Giants, do you really see the Bears beating them? You don't. And so that's why I think this is such a big game for anybody but really Washington or the Giants. The Giants would love to win the game, but they don't have to. They just need to beat Washington the following week. And LB keeps saying, "Oh, y'all need us." We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for a damn thing. We just need to win. We just need to take care of our own business. I tell Washington fans this all the time. I don't worry about what any other team in the division is doing. If we take care of what we have to take care of, we'll be just fine. That's all that matters. Now, of course, I've got my eyes. I got side eye on the other teams in the division. You keep your enemies close, your friends close, and your enemies even closer. You damn right I know what they're doing. But I ain't worried about them. I ain't stunting what they doing. I'm worried about what we doing. And so the only teams that are really concerned with that Giants game really are the Eagles, because they can't afford to lose with Minnesota breathing down their neck and Dallas hard charging at the division crown. Yeah, they need to continue to win. And obviously Dallas is keeping an eye on that game. With Dallas playing the entire AFC South coming up 4 out of the next 5 weeks after just taking care of Indy. Now they got Houston. They're going to win that game. Then they got Jacksonville on the road. Then they got Philadelphia. And then Tennessee. There's a likelihood that they're going to win most of those games, if not all of them. And if they can beat Philadelphia, it'll put them in a really good spot. So they just need them to lose one more game, but it doesn't have to be before that Dallas game. They just need to lose another game in addition to that Dallas game at some point. And Dallas has to win out. But if you want to catch them, have that game be for first place, then you need them to lose, and you need them preferably to lose to the Giants, because if they lose to the Giants, that would make them have a worse divisional record than you do, because that would be their second loss in the division, and Dallas only has one loss in the division, and that's to the Philadelphia Eagles. They've swept the Giants, they beat Washington already, so if you want them to lose a game, you want them to lose to the Giants, to be honest. You'll take the Bears game as well, but the Giants one is the one that can hurt them the most, because then when we get to tiebreakers, if you guys split season series, the next tiebreaker is divisional record, which you have. So you'd have. Reborn Soul Vibes. My girl Rebe. Oh my God. Love me some Rebe. One of my, if not my favorite Eagles fan. And I got a few that I really love. Not more than my girl Rebe. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, love these NFC East shows you Kings put together. Great sportsmanship. Lou LB. That's my girl. Love me some Rebe. Always good to hear from you, girl. And you take care of yourself. Look forward to chopping it up with you down the road. Let's see. All right. Reborn Soul Vibes. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, these last divisional games are bananas. We're going to beat the cleats off of each other these last games. Slugfest. We coming home with Christmas gifts. I like that. It's going to be crazy. I mean, this is what you live for as a division. Everybody talking about the division. We got the spotlight to ourselves Sunday night next weekend. You can't ignore us. Everybody's watching. All eyes on us in that game. And the stakes can't be any higher for this time of the season, right? Only way the stakes could be any higher for this Washington Giants game is if this were played in week 18 and it was winner is in, loser is out. That's the only way the stakes could be any higher. But this is essentially an elimination game. The loser of this game, they're not eliminated from postseason play. Their season isn't done. But boy, it got a lot tougher to get in. You're going to need some help. I just told Lord Brunson, I don't need him. Lose to the Giants, and you may need him. You may need him. Week 18, when they may have nothing to play for, you may need him. You don't want to put yourself in that position. Right now, we don't need anybody but us. I'd like to keep it that way. Christmas gifts. That's nice. Go to Dallas, come back home with a bag full of goodies. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. The Cowboys aren't going to make it easy on you, but it's very, very possible. Very, very possible indeed. Shane Arnold. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Shane writes, regardless of anything, the NFC East is the best division in football. Fly, Eagles, fly. But respect can be given to the rest of the division. Bad Dog says it best. I can't stand any of your teams, but I love this division with all my heart. I'm NFC East through and through. I've said this a million times. We can talk trash to each other, but don't nobody come in here and disrespect us, okay? It's a family thing. We can talk all the trash we want to each other. These are family members. But don't nobody talk trash about the family outside of the family. So while I hate the Eagles, what they're doing right now is phenomenal. I've talked about wanting this division to be good, and I don't want this to be a one-off. And what the Eagles are doing, what the Cowboys are doing, what they're doing is sustainable. What the Giants and the Commanders are doing may not be as sustainable. Why? Because we don't have the quarterback in place. Jalen Hurts has solidified himself as a franchise quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't have to worry about that carousel. We still don't have a true answer at the quarterback position. Neither does the Giants, even though they may be sticking with Daniel Jones. I'm sort of glad I'm not in the position that they're in. It's not a great position to be in because you can't just let Daniel Jones walk because the recourse isn't great. You have to. I always tell young kids out there, the youth of America, don't quit your job until you have another one already, right? Don't quit your job and just go looking for more work. You better already have one lined up before you get rid of the one that's already providing you with income. if you're the Giants, you can't get rid of Daniel Jones until there's a viable option already on the roster, preferably a young guy in the draft. They're not. I don't think they're looking, though. I think they're going to continue to build around Daniel Jones. I wouldn't be super excited about that, but beats the alternative of not having a guy at all, being, you know, the Houston Texans or the Carolina Panthers. Clearly, both of those teams are going to be in a position to draft a quarterback. But I'd rather be, and it's tough because Washington is in a tough spot. They're not going to be in a position to draft a quarterback. And I don't know who's going back to school, who's not going back to school. But I can tell you this. What the Eagles are doing is sustainable. What the Cowboys are doing is sustainable. And I'm hoping that Washington and the Giants can make this a yearly occurrence, something that happens on a regular basis where this division is the best in football for a stretch here, a window of 4 or 5 years where the NFC East is that division. Everybody else is trying to catch up to what we over here doing. I'd love to see it. Eagles are setting the bar high right now. Rolando Cedeno, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, Giants can't do what Washington did against the Eagles. They don't have the receivers. That's a part of it. But I keep going back to this because we kicked a bunch of field goals in that game. If you recall, we kicked 4 field goals in that game. We scored 2 touchdowns, kicked 4 field goals. And 2 of them one was 58, the other was 55. Like, these are some massive kicks. That's the kind of pressure you got to put on Philadelphia. But I can't state this enough. You also have to force turnovers against the Eagles if you're going to beat them. It can't just be a straight up, oh, we got stops. Yeah, you're going to stop them once or twice in the game, maybe 3 times, but you're going to have to create turnovers. And the Giants are one of the worst turnover teams in football. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do it or not. But to your point, their receivers are going to have to step up if they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Much bigger than they played when they just played Washington. That's for certain. Gearcell 1. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Gents, it's just me now. NFC East football was must-see in the 80s, early 90s. Just saw Jalen Hurts at Wendy's wearing a James Harden jersey with teal plaid turtleneck and Mr. T chains. Tragic. With a James Harden jersey and Mr. T, as the unhip people used to say, a Mr. T starter kit. Barrett Downing, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy BD, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, love when you guys get together, but Lou is my guy until the tires come off. You know you my guy, BD, as always. Barrett Downing, always holding the kid down. Really appreciate you, but the panel is awesome. Love those guys, and they are what makes this so enjoyable. Eagle Body Bags 18. I love that name. Eagles Body Bag 18. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, okay, I can't take this no more. Stop the madness. Quez Watkins will burn Diggs. Come this Christmas, Giants will get swept. Come on, bro. Did the no-names really win that game, or did the Eagles give them that game? No, we took it. We accept handouts as well. We don't turn anything down. This is the season of giving, and you felt like giving, and I was more than happy to accept. But make no mistake about it. We took that game from you. We forced turnovers. We ran it down your throat. We exerted ourselves, our will on you, okay? Physically, we beat you up in that football game. So, yeah, we took that from you. All right. Confused Luck. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, moist cheeks. I knew that was coming. If they were here, that would have got a nice laugh out of them. They're not used to the cheeks talk. I am. So they're not used to that at all. I will tell you this. I was waiting for Luck, who I assume was posing as my guy, John Livingston. I was waiting for him to come with these nuts after asking all of those questions. I know it was you, Luck. And I warned them not to answer, and they did not listen to me. And I wasn't going to tell them why they shouldn't answer that question. They're just so unaware. And all of them have gotten at some point. I know they have. But that's for them to figure out on their own. I can't keep saving them. Eagles Body Bag 18. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Just read that one. Thank you for the super chat. Eagles Body Bag 18. I do like your name though. Apostle Benny. Is that Apostle? Yes, it's Apostle. Apostle Benny. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Washington's Super Bowl highlights are on VHS too. Hashtag DC4L. I stayed out of that conversation. You see, I got quiet when they started talking about VHSs, right? You didn't hear nothing from me. I was crickets over here. I stay out of those type of conversations. I have nothing to add to those conversations. I know my role. I play it well. So you would never hear anything out of me when they start. This is why I tell the fan base all the time, we need to create new memories. The only thing the Eagles have on us now is, oh, y'all weren't outside the last time you won a Super Bowl. That, you were drinking sippy cup. That's the only thing they got. So we got to change that narrative. I don't know when the hell that's going to ever happen. I'd like to see one in my lifetime again. All right. But I stay out of those conversations because I know where I stand there. Stelios 300 Cowboys or Stelios 300 Cowboys. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Giants are going to task that Philly butt. I hope so. Because honestly, I don't really care about if the Giants win or not. As long as we beat them the following week, makes no difference to me. Once we own the tiebreaker over the Giants, I feel good about the prospects of us making the postseason. And an Eagles loss, I've already, stated this. An Eagles loss makes everything intriguing, and it forces the Eagles to have to play out the string of their season, which is what I ultimately want. I don't want anybody resting anybody in week 18. I want the Eagles having to play the Giants. Whether we need the Giants to lose that game or not is irrelevant, which I hope we don't need them, but I want the Eagles to have to play their starters. I don't want them resting anybody. I don't want them feeling good and they get to go into week 18 resting Jalen Hurts and starting Gardner Minshew. Nah, I want the pressure on them. They want that first round bye. They got to play their starters in week 18. And the only way that's going to happen is if they lose some more games. So I'd like nothing more than them to lose to the Giants. But again, doesn't faze me one bit. Whether they beat them or not, could care less. I just want them to beat the hell out of each other, as I said earlier. Stelios 300 Cowboys. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Read that one already. Giants going to tax that Philly behind. Oh, no, you switched it up. You switched it up. Tax that Philly behind this time. Double up. Thank you for doubling it up. Greatly appreciate you. We'll see. We'll see. Going to be interesting. I love the fact that I don't have a game to worry about, so I'll be watching that game very intently on Sunday. Let's see. Joshua Orozco. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joshua writes, it's baffling how no one talks about the blow the Cowboys secondary took. AJ and Devontae feasting Xmas Eve. It did take a blow, but you heard talk about the kid Bland, right? He's coming into his own. He's not trash. He's not mincemeat. Had a pick on Sunday night against the Colts. He's coming along. I think they're really building confidence in him. But Anthony Brown sucks. So, look, he was a warm body, a guy that they could trust, but he wasn't very good. So that hurts. You lose depth when you lose a guy like Anthony Brown. We can sit here and talk shit about him, but he was a starting corner for them. That hurts. We'll see. You guys neutralized Jalen Hurts the last time, or excuse me, neutralized Michael Parsons the last time. If they don't have a game plan to counteract that, where the read option was the choice of, the weapon of choice last time you two played. If they don't have a game plan to counteract that, I'm going to lose some respect for their defensive coordinator, who I have a ton of respect for, in Dan Quinn. He knows what they did last time, and he should be ready for it this time. There's no excuse. Eagles had a plan. They executed it to perfection the last time. You better be ready this time around if you're Dallas. Joaquin Williams, we didn't miss your super chat. You didn't type anything in. You super chatted, but there was no comment. So we didn't miss the super chat. You just didn't type anything in. I'll read this comment, though, since it's here and I see it. Eagles only worry about the game that's next on the schedule. That's the Giants. That's how you're supposed to do it. The cliche, we're just trying to be 1-0 this week. You hear it, but it's true. It's a real thing. All right. John Livingston, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, J.L. Smith, writes, I join and I hear my name again. What the F luck do with my identity now? He uses you as a pawn in his scheme, and he does it beautifully. If I didn't know any better, I would have got, but I know you. I know how you talk. I know how you operate. And so luck can't get me on using your identity because I know you too well. And so he can't mimic you because there's only one you. But there's other people out here that you can mimic and it slides right under the radar, but he can't be you. He says, I missed the Super Friends. I actually had to eat crow. Hurts has been much better than I anticipated. Everyone's had to eat crow. Get in line. We all have had to eat crow this season at some point talking about Jalen Hurts. We were all wrong. None of us thought he was going to be any good. Now, there were varying degrees of how much we thought he would suck, some more than others, but we all thought the Eagles would be a lesser team because of Jalen Hurts. I said he was going to bottleneck their offense. For those of you who don't know what that term means, there's only so much you can get out of the offense. You got all this talent, but the quarterback was going to stop you from maximizing all of the talent that you have. He was going to cap that talent at a certain point because the production at a certain point because he wasn't good enough to utilize all the weapons that you have. But that hasn't transpired. He's added to the mix and made them a much more dangerous team. So, Mr. Ron B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Mr. Ron B, who writes, I posed my question earlier to you, Lou. Name one area that our team needs to improve for the stretch run. Oh, you did. I probably didn't answer it because I wanted to let the panel handle it. And then after they answered it, the conversation probably went in a totally different direction. That often happens, and the wheels go off, and that's when things get really juicy and interesting. And so I apologize for that. I think I did answer one part of it. I answered offensively. I said Taylor Heineke has to be better. I don't think that is I don't think that's a surprise. I don't think that anybody who's a fan of this team or even watch this team really needs to even think about that for a split second. We need more out of the quarterback position. And again, I don't need more Taylor Heineke. I need more of the Taylor Heineke that I'm already getting. Okay. I need more from him in that capacity. So he missed throws on Sunday against the Giants. And, some of those hurt you. It wasn't all him, though. I'm not going to sit here and just act as if he was the reason that the offense stalled out at times. We had holding penalties. The tight ends, I would argue that the tight ends were the biggest culprit as to why we didn't win on Sunday. If you're asking for a position group or you're asking for a specific reason directly, you want to put the blame somewhere, I would put it on the tight ends more so than any other group. We'll talk about that. If you're in the MOBB, I've got a studs and duds coming tomorrow your way. Film breakdown coming your way tomorrow. All of that good stuff. So be on the lookout. But Taylor Heinicke, we need more from him. We need more from the quarterback position, whomever's in there, whether it's him or Wentz. But I'm hoping it's Heinicke, and I'm hoping we get more out of him, more consistency out of him. We need him to be better. We need him to limit the turnovers, take care of the football. Didn't throw a pick this game, but he tried. He almost threw 2, but there was a fumble. There's always something. We just need to be better. Take care of the football. When you get a layup, I need you to make the layup. Put it in the basket. And then defensively, I think it's probably the secondary. You could easily go defensive end, specifically Chase Young. When he comes back, you'd like to see him provide a spark, but I'm not putting that on him. I really just want to see the corners be consistent. Love what we're getting out of Kendall Fuller. When Juice comes back, you hope he's healthy and he picks right up where he left off. And then you're hoping that another guy can step in there, whether it's Danny Johnson like he did on Sunday or whomever. You're just looking for another guy to give us some consistency on the back end, really. All right, Mr. Ron B. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Mr. Ron B. writes. Mr. Ron B. writes, no, Lou, I meant to keep you to the side on that question until now. Okay. I wasn't sure. I know you asked the panel, and I think you might have said law and LB in particular when you asked the question, but I always try to let them answer all the questions first that are being directed, to anybody. So anyway, I digress. But that's the answer for me is Taylor Heinicke on offense, the secondary, specifically the cornerback position. We're going to need more out of that group. Clearly, Christian Holmes was not it. We knew he wasn't going to be it. He's a rookie. He's a 7th-round pick. There's only so much you're getting out of that guy. We need Juice healthy, and we need another guy to step up, and I'm hoping it's Danny Johnson. I'm a Danny Johnson fan. And, what Danny gave us, not only in the Giants game, but what Danny gave us in that Falcons game as well. Huge. So I'm hoping it's Danny Johnson. But we'll see. All right, well, not Falcons game. I think it was the Texans game he came in and he played well. So Luck to God. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, I'm tired of you telling on me, Lou. Let me at him. All I told them was if I were you, I wouldn't answer that question. I didn't say anything. I did not say anything to them. The last time I flat out snitched on you. Said, bro, I'm not going to let you do that to them on this channel. That was the warning shot. I fired off a few rounds. Pop, pop, pop. I didn't do that this time. I said, all I told them was, if I were you, I wouldn't answer that. And they did not listen to me. They still were sitting there. He's like, why? Why shouldn't we answer it? I think it's Kevontae Turpin. Like, I said, okay, it's on y'all. It's on y'all. I did not stop them this time. I warned them gently. They did not listen. It was the floor was yours. You could have done with that whatever you wanted. Mr. Ron B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. I should have been done that, but my apologies. But thank you for doubling up, tripling up, and now your 4th super who writes, my answer is to finish drives with touchdowns and stops and games. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely. Our red zone offense leaves a lot to be desired, and it's probably the number one reason that we play so many close games. Is because every single game you can bet your ass if we get in the red zone multiple times, whether it's 2 or 3 times, which we usually don't get in the red zone any more than that. we're either going to be 2 of 3 or we're going to be 1 of 2. It's very rare that we score on every single trip in the red zone unless we only make 1 trip. That has to stop. Because scoring 2 touchdowns when you have a chance to score 3, that's the difference between you scoring 24 or 27 versus you scoring 17 or 20. And that's the difference between you winning a game or you losing a game. Winning a game 24 to 20 or 24 to 23 versus you, or 27 to 23 or 27 to 24 versus you losing a game 24 to 20 or 23 to 20 or something to that effect. And getting stops. I would love it if our defense, when we get up 2 scores, I would love it if they had a shutdown drive. Those seem to be impossible for us. We get up 10 and we're definitely giving up something. It's just a question of whether, is it a touchdown or is it a field goal? The last 2 weeks, it's been a field goal when we've gotten up 2 scores. We got up 19-10 on the Falcons. We gave up a field goal. We got up 10-0 on the Giants. We gave up a field goal. Then we gave up a touchdown. Then it was tied. Chevy Kitchen, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, when we get to the playoffs, we will be dangerous because of the weather, run game, defense, special teams, and our receivers will be key. # Super Bowl. I can't co-sign on the Super Bowl, but what I can tell you, what I can say is that just like you said, when we get to the playoffs, we're making it. LB is flat out wrong. He's a hater. They talk about me being a hater. Clearly, they don't watch my channel, but they talk about me being a hater. He's the biggest hater on the entire panel, right? But he already said it. He already said, I can't stand Washington. He can't stand Washington because of me. I make him not like Washington, which I love. I love being the villain. Their fans can't stand me. They say the craziest shit about me. I love it. I eat it up. Y'all saw how I was conducting myself on socials after that game because they came at me so hard after the first game. They came at me so hard. So I went back at them and they didn't like it. They couldn't take it. I was giving them work. They don't want the smoke. And I would love nothing more than to make a trip to the link in the divisional round of the postseason. It would be everything. It'd be everything. But got to make it to the playoffs first. They're going. Okay. They can clinch a playoff berth this week with a win. They're going. We got to get there. Luck to God. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Luck writes, next stream, no warnings. I'm going to set them up for you. I won't warn them at all. So this is the progression. The first stream, I flat out told them, bro, I got y'all. I ain't going to let him get y'all like that on my show. The second time, which was this stream, I gave them a gentle warning. Okay. Hey, I wouldn't do that if I were you. You can do whatever you want. The first time, I wouldn't even let them. Okay. I shielded them. This time, I gave them a gentle warning, but I said, you could do whatever you like. Yeah. This next time, I won't say a word. I won't say a word. You got my word. I won't say a word. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Metaphor, writes, I doubt you can go to the link without Kevlar. Hey, look, man. I don't know if I don't think they would recognize me. I'm not a celebrity or anything like that. So I could go into the link and be fine. Okay. But I'm pretty sure there are 1 or 2 that might recognize me. And because of how much disdain they have, it might be on site for them. And you know, I have no animosity, no disdain in my heart for anybody individually. I can't stand your team, but I don't know you personally. But there are some people that might be like, oh, that Louie Tee, man, if I see him, yada, yada, yada. And it might be on site. And I have no idea. I might have to take Luck with me. I might have to have Luck be my bodyguard if I go to the lake. Oh, man. Luck would be my Kevlar. John Livingston, thank you for the super chat. Oh, I see Kyle P says take luck with you when you do go, Lou. if we went to the link, I definitely have to take luck with me. John Livingston, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, bummed about Vaughn, Lou. That hurts. Huge. We were talking about your Bills because the question came up, and you missed this. I wish you were here because you would have chimed in on this. The question came up about the best GM in football, and he wanted me to say Howie Roseman. I'm not going to say Howie because I don't believe Howie Roseman is the best GM in football. I think he's a really good GM. I think he's aggressive, more so than anything else. I think he's super aggressive, much like Les Snead, to a different degree because Les Snead is willing to mortgage the future and do a deal with the devil, whereas Howie Roseman is a little bit more shrewd than that. But he's aggressive. When an opportunity presents itself, he pounces on it. I'm more of a Brandon Beane guy. I think he's built a roster that puts him in a position where he doesn't have to go scouring the streets when an injury occurs because he's built a roster that's ready to win. Now they're looking to add Odell Beckham Jr. and they'd love to add him to the mix at the receiver position. But they've built a roster that can withstand injuries. Even Von Miller being out. Look, the difference with Von is he's a closer. You saw it earlier in the season when there were games that were close at the end. Von was getting in there, getting to the quarterback and changing the game, and that's why you went out and got him. And now when you need him the most, he's not available. That hurts. It sucks. It stings. And you're going to need other guys to step up. And I told them that they said, well, Von got hurt. Aren't they going to go out and get a rusher? I was like, no, they got 1 million of those dudes. This is what they drafted Gregory Rousseau for. This is what they drafted Boogie Basham for. This is why they got all these dudes. Now, this is why AJ Epineza lost all that weight and is in great shape. Like, this is why they got all of this stuff. Now, none of them are Von Miller. But this is why you built the roster the way that they built it. And I think it's outside of corner, which I'm still not quite sure, and you just got Tre'Davious White back, and he's starting to work his way back. Outside of corner, I'm convinced that roster is ironclad. Outside of corner, it's a well-constructed, foolproof roster. He says, Rousseau going to have to step up, though, but enormous shoes to fill. OBJ to the Bills, though. Jerry Jones dumped all the water on the boys signing him. And Daniel Jones or Josh Allen? Question mark. If he's serious about winning, I don't think it's even up for debate. It was either Dallas. I've already said this. If he was serious about winning the Super Bowl, it's either Dallas or Buffalo from the jump. The Giants are nostalgic. It was what was home to him. He'd love nothing more than to go back to New York. If his ego is involved, then it's New York, because you know you're number one. If he goes to New York, he's the focal point of the offense right out of the gate. You go to Buffalo, you're behind Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. You're an afterthought. Now you're still gonna get opportunities because of Josh Allen, but you're not the alpha. You go to Dallas, it's CeeDee Lamb. I think he'd be the second guy, but it's still Michael Gallup. You know, they still got a bevy of tight ends. It's still Zeke Elliott. It's still Tony Pollard. He's an afterthought. You go to New York, and along with Saquon Barkley, he becomes the focal point of that offense. I don't know if his ego can turn that down, but in the same breath, he's looking for a payday. And as Bad Dog eloquently laid out multiple times, they don't have the money. So we'll see what happens. I just find it interesting that this is taking place, and he's not. I don't think Jerry's going to do it. Just like Law said, I think this is all for attention. Jerry's doing this and milking this for every second that it's worth, because any press is good press for the Cowboys. Anything that puts them in the media is good for them. They're like literally like Teflon. Nothing sticks to them. Everything bounces off. All pub is good pub for them. Rousseau is going to have to step up big time, but this is going to have to be just like Tyreek Hill moving on in Kansas City and them trading him. No one guy is going to fill that void. This has to be a collective effort, John. This can't just be on Gregory Rousseau to step up. It has to be Boogie Basham. It has to be AJ Epineza. It has to be Jordan Phillips. It has to be Tim Settle. Everybody has to come to the table collectively. Ed Oliver, everybody's got to step their game up. This is a massive loss. Don't you guys have the guy from the Giants, the Dolphins too? Like a former, maybe it's the other way around. Shaq Lawson. Is he in Miami or is he in Buffalo? I forget. Chevy Kitchen. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Chevy Kitchen. Double up. Thank you for doubling up for rights. But who can't we match up with in the playoffs? That could easily be a luck. I'm gonna tell you right now, that seemed real luckish. I think it's really you. I'm gonna answer it, but I'm telling you, that feels luckish. But I'm just telling you, with the way Washington plays, if the we you're referring to is Washington, and I'm pretty sure you're a Washington fan. There isn't a team, and I've said this all season long, on the NFC side of the bracket, there isn't a team that we don't match up with. Now, on the AFC side, there are a number of teams that would scare me shitless just because of the sheer amount of weaponry that they have offensively and the inability to stop them and the ability for them to score points. We can't keep up. But there is no Joe Burrow. There is no Patrick Mahomes. There is no Josh Allen. Those guys don't exist on our side of the bracket. So I look at the Eagles with Jalen Hurts and I'm saying, why not? Why can't we slow this game down? Why can't we force Jalen Hurts into a mistake or two? Why can't we force 1 or 2 turnovers? Why can't we run the football? Why can't we control time of possession? Why can't we do what we did to them? Why can't we beat Minnesota? We're up 10 points in the fourth quarter. Why can't we beat the Vikings? Why the hell not? We play the 49ers in a few weeks. We'll see what we can do against them. I guarantee you we're in that game. Even if we don't win, I guarantee you we're in that game. Nobody scares me on this side of the bracket. We know we can beat Tampa Bay. We've done it already. We beat a better version of Tampa Bay last year. The Bucs suck this year. Nobody's afraid of them. As LB put it, though, Brady is a different animal. You get him in the playoffs. It's Brady. Like, you still like, shit, it's Brady. But I don't know. I told you I keep waiting on the Bucs. I don't think those boys are coming. I just think they are what they are. Like, we have to wrap our brains around that. Anyway, I digress. We can beat anybody on this side of the bracket. Understand that. And people have called me delusional for that. They called me delusional after I told LB when we were 2-4. I want y'all to be undefeated when we see y'all on Monday Night Football in your own building. I want you undefeated. I hope you undefeated. Because the style of football that we play, it translates to this time of the year. You're going to need better Heineke. You're going to need the defense to continue to step up. You're going to need to be better in the red zone, as Mr. Ron B said earlier. Like, all these things need to come to fruition. But at the end of the day, with the style of play that we play, we're going to give ourselves a chance. The question is, are we going to make enough plays? Can we stay out of our own way? Can we avoid the self-inflicted wounds? Can we avoid the 10-yard penalty on a 9-yard run? Couldn't do it on Sunday. Killed us. Can we avoid the missed field goal? Look, if you're not going to score touchdowns, you better make your field goals. Joey's been money for most of the year. I'm not complaining. I expect Joey Sly to make his kicks. I didn't expect him to miss that kick. This wasn't, me feeling like Dustin Hopkins, anything over 50. Oh, shit, here we go. No, I feel confident with Joey Sly out there. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, speaking of the Bills, I wonder if Matt Araiza gets another shot in the NFL now that the court won't press charges. He carries a ton of baggage. He ain't a quarterback, but he has true Hall of Fame punter potential. They don't call him the punt god for nothing. Somebody's going to get that young man some run. I mean, we see kickers change games all the time with massive kicks Dude's got a ridiculous leg, and he can kick field goals too in a pinch. He'll get some work. I don't know if Buffalo will bring him back, but somebody's going to give him some love. He's going to get a look-see. He'll be back in the league. John Livingston, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, J.L. Smooth, writes, yep, Shaq is back and playing extremely well. Love Shaq Lawson. He thrives in this D. I knew I saw him. I knew I wasn't tripping. I saw y'all on Thursday night, and I said, is that Shaq Lawson back in Buffalo? I knew I wasn't tripping. And I watched the Dolphins game, and I'm like, am I tripping? Because I just watched the Dolphins game like a day ago. So like maybe I'm mixing the two teams. I could have sworn I saw Shaq Lawson make a play against the Patriots on Thursday night. And I'm like, damn, he's back. I didn't. So y'all deep as shit, man. And that's what I was trying to tell. This is why I roll with Brandon Bean, because y'all are built for this. Vaughn is a different animal. We know that, but y'all are built for this. He says, you aren't wrong. It's going to take everyone stepping up. I singled out Rousseau because he's been very good this year till he got hurt. And he's the one guy. He's the alpha of that group of guys that I named, between him and Boogie Basham and AJ Epineza and Shaq Lawson and Jordan Phillips and all of those guys that I mentioned, Tim Settle, that entire defensive line, and Ed Oliver. He's the alpha of that group, Rousseau, in terms of potential and upside, which is why you spent the first round pick on him. Ed Oliver has potential as well, which is why you spent the first round pick on him. But Rousseau is the guy that has game-changing type of ability. So he, like you said, he was playing well. He's going to be the one that probably needs to step up. But that's going to do it for me, your man Louie Tee. I thank you guys for joining me here on this special Super Friends edition of the Command. Well, I'm about to call it the Command Post. Commander's Nightly News is essentially what it is. Really, it's probably more of a Command Post episode, honestly. But who's keeping count? It's the Super Friends stream. NFC East Super Friends, like no other. As a wise man used to say back in the day, often imitated, never mother effing duplicated. So that's going to do it for me, your man Louie Tee. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I will be back tomorrow, Thursday Night Football. I'm not looking forward to it. Raiders, Rams. If you're a Washington fan, you will have a video from me tomorrow, Commander's Nightly News. And if you're not interested in either one of those, then I'll see you Friday for the Louie Tee Network podcast, where I give you my picks, preview the games, and anything else under the sun. We'll have Thursday night leftovers. They might be spoiled. We'll see. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys get out of here. Get off the bench, get in the game, and kick it with me, your man Louie Tee. Until next time, God bless. And as always, good night.